really wish they changed this. I could continue last quit. Last quit was apparently autosave 4. Why was the last? I really hope. I know they're not. But I really hope the devs are watching. I hope they just see me staring at that screen, going, "Do what?" Right. So we got to the point where I need to work out what antimatter is. Probably means grumble over Shaka's smiley face. Yeah, I didn't get what was called Fling. I did get Witcher.
Fling it or something?
Fling
Yeah.
It didn't look too much like Baby Maker Extreme.
Like what, sorry?
Baby Maker Extreme. Or kick
no idea what that is.
Kick the Penguin?
No.
It looked like another computer game I had previously played.
Ah.
Right, so I'm guessing build this and I flip it into photon generation mode, which will then output photons.
Hello.
Hello. Mike,
join.
it's safe to join. Mike, we're doing Rackfest tomorrow. Hopefully that gives you enough variety. God, I'm not looking forward to it. I need to get a new cushion for my chair, or a second cushion. Rackfest is mean.
I actually saw your stream yesterday of the what's it called, the rocks
of the Flintstone mobile. Yeah,
Flintstones. Yeah, it's like
I promise you, the videos do not do it justice. They really don't. It's just like, oh my god, this hurts so much. Because I said the rig can't do large motions. It's only oh god, I want to say
I failed.
You failed. No, just be alright for me. I haven't got any errors or anything.
I got a could not contact server.
Oh, I guess try again.
I'll try.
But yeah, the thing is, what the motion rig is very good at is large G-forces for short distances, and that's exactly what that thing was doing, because you only moved a little bit.
Going for a new attempt.
Yep. Yeah, we're getting big network send, big spikes of data. I'm unsure on this MMO, VR MMO. I like the concept and principle, but having looked at the trailer, I'm a big like, fuck that. Like flying, teleporting, gliding, running backwards. It's like, you have played VR before, right? This is where Carrier Command works so well, most of it, because they didn't have you doing too much sort of moving around. A bit too much, as we found out, but
there have been some updates to Carrier Command.
Yes, I would like to see what they are at some point. The problem we found with Carrier Command is we got quite good at it, and there wasn't really enough variety in most of the areas. It was just what the tactic for level A did you for all the levels. There was never, this is a radar stealth line. You just, I mean, to be fair, the original Carrier Command had the same thing. You hung back, you shelled it. Shaka, can you come here and get rid of this lake that I'm standing in, please?
Yep. They are pushing mod support, so at some point there might be some mods to check out.
Yeah,
I
we did.
wouldn't pick so fast to go back to that game. It's quite content-themed.
Yeah, this puddle here. Do I have any research that's... Yes. Yeah, I have 3 more drones.
What should I be getting here, Si?
Wooden planks. And it's the other one.
Yeah.
Then I believe all I will need is a miniature particle glider, which requires 50 rings. Oh god. What is it for some rings? Oh wait, hold on, didn't I? Oh, I did, but I didn't. Let me go and grab the magnetic circle things. Wish we're here. Oh! Yeah, same thing again, exactly the same thing. Transport apart. But that appears to be a non-fatal one, so I'm just going to ignore it. That's the wrong thing entirely. Oh, we do go into that. Oh, they come out quickly. Okay. Yeah, I will dust off my steering wheel for Wednesday as well. I'm curious to know whether or not they are... have they finished all their season passes? Is that now a done thing? Or is there still more to come in SnowRunner's universe?
Oh, SnowRunner. Unsure. I haven't looked, but I think we're expecting more stuff from this year's season pass. I think there's like 2 or 3 more seasons, to be fair.
Yeah, because I mean, I basically, as I said, I was so happy with the game, and they just eroded so much goodwill away by just ballsing it up. I mean, I guess to be fair, they did
and not fixing it.
and not fixing it. That was the thing. It's I understand it gets broken, but I mean, what we were experiencing were critical and fatal bugs that were really easy to fix. That was the worst bit. These weren't complicated bugs. This was like, I know what's wrong. Y'all need to fix it, and we're not.
You say y'all?
Y'all, yes, y'all.
Okay.
Y'all.
Is that some West Country thing or?
Thing.
West Country, New York.
Yeah. Y'all need to fix it.
Yeah, y'all is brilliant. I love y'all because what's the English equivalent? You lot. It's terrible.
Yeah. They?
They?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not quite as middle class as you.
Because I mean, you're not talking to them directly, are you? So, you all doesn't really work. Doesn't really make any logical sense. So technically, it's incorrect.
I thought it can be a combination of third person and second person.
Or the other one would be all of you need to fix it, not you all. Y'all.
All of you need to fix it. Sounds like I'm a CEO at a business meeting. All of you need to fix this issue.
Okay. So what's the difference between you all, i.e. you all, and all you, all of you.
All of you. It's very ghetto.
All you.
All of you. Whoop whoop. Mike Burkhart, I very much doubt it. So I don't think the mod has much in the way of smarts. I think the mod is just transmitting I think the mod is more or less saving the game and then sending it up, whereas it should be only sending deltas for the level joins. But I bet you it's not. It's quicker for me to get that going. Also to my own. So I knew it would jam up. So the way to do this, I would need to have 2 of those. Oh. Actually, there's one of those, one of these set to. And filter that one. Now, all I need to do is come along here once in a while, dump off my stuff, and pick up my turbines.
Turbines.
I don't remember what I was building now. I've been so distracted with I don't have enough turbines. Oh, a particle collider. I think, hope, I should probably have checked, but I think this will let me craft a antimatter.
Matter that is not matter.
Is it not?
It's not what not.
Antimatter, a sort of matter.
Well, it's antimatter.
Does it matter, really?
Matter.
Nothing really matters.
Nothing else matters.
Anyone
I
can
would
see.
know that matter would be split into antimatter and like positive matter.
Well,
What about neutral matter?
positive matter, that's just matter. Oh god, I said matter too many times. Now it has a full meaning.
Is it a smattering of matter?
Smattering of matter. It doesn't really matter anyway, Adam. It's all immaterial.
Anyone can see. Oh shit. Oh bugger. You soon we have an oops.
You have a smattering of matter with some antimatter, it doesn't matter. It's all energy now.
Yeah, right there, Einstein.
Look, he's driving a truck. He's got time to think about these things.
If the SnowRunner devs want to get back on my good side, it's very simple. Add in VR support, add in motion platform support. Oh,
I would go one step further.
VR support.
Yeah. I'd go one. I mean, that would be absolutely freaking awesome. But I'd go one step further and say up the player count from 4.
Yes, it's not as if the game can't run as many vehicles as it likes. Because it can. Because you can just leave them rolling around. But, what is our production rate of these? Let me just pop it here, because do that there. think I'm beginning to see why we might need a lot of power, because I will probably need to run all of the antimatter generation as well. What do you mean angle too wide? What is it talking about?
Stop being obtuse.
None of these are working. I get this sometimes. It just sort of goes, nah, that's not a valid angle. Really a valid angle, but it's not. Why not? Yeah. Operative. And you can make mass energy storage. That creates two hydrogen and 2. I'm guessing that's antimatter. Don't know. Hydrogen. So, is antimatter a fluid?
Antimatter can be anything that positive matter is.
We think.
Or the game
I
object.
think.
No, it's not. So, Fratchaka, you were incorrect. Thankfully, unlike everything I've been told in Star Trek, you can just pop antimatter straight into your inventory. You can carry it around with no problems, and it's next to matter, so that's all good. Okay, we are now producing whites, and it is fully automated. Our first universe matrix 30 hours in. Is that good? I've no idea. Is it a world record? Almost definitely not. Am I pleased? Yes, I am.
Are you going to finish answering questions to yourself?
No, I'm not. That's it, by the way. That's all the ones we've made out of what we could do with is a tidal locked planet. So we're now making almost 2 of these a minute. And we're now making 2 a minute. And the longer that the antimatter system, longer that the system can see the sun, the better. Now, if we are on a tidal locked planet, I don't think we found any, have we, Shauka?
I haven't been checking too much.
It tells you on every opportunity the game will say tidal locked planet. I mean, you might have missed it, but it's quite hard to miss it. It really does shout it at you.
There's none in Tarbit.
Because then we could put a rave. Oh, though we would need a Dyson sphere in that same thing.
Sorry, you can put a rave where?
Array or receiver.
Oh, I thought you said rave. I was excited.
Party!
EARTY?
Because I gotta.
Because I gotta.
Can I mouse over a planet? There you go. Now, when you click it, instead of saying planet, ice giant, or whatever, it will just go tidal locked. But then I realised we would also need a Dyson sphere around that planet, which is not that hard to arrange, I guess. If you go there with a dozen spaceships and some solar cells, you get something. But we're currently in a production rate of about 5 whites per minute. That is mostly limited by antimatter and slightly limited by the number of greens. Mostly antimatter though.
Right, plane filters are not automatically coming from golden shower yet.
That doesn't surprise me. But yes, once we get 1,000 whites, I can then do our first infinite upgrade. Ooh. Ah. Dylan, I would like to, if I can find it, I will link you. Oh, now let me see. If I just search for my own name on YouTube, I can find it. Ah, here we go. I hope you find that less boring. I have been told it's quite good. I've not watched it back yet because I did it, but I've been told it's quite a fun chat. I've done a whole bunch of talks, and I would like to think they're not boring. Oh, we can get faster drones. That doesn't need any green. That doesn't need any green. Is it just me, or does the solar sail research appear way too late in the game? I guess I'll also do these ray efficiency research because they may also speed up the...
Yeah, the late balancing is like not on point in this game.
What's the time, like, the ray transmission efficiency, you can get up to infinite 100% efficient solar panels, which is good, but I don't care, because by this point I would just send up 1,000 more solar sails. Who cares if I can gain 10% more efficient? Yeah, I did a dev talk on car audio and cars and engine simulations and why are cars cool. I'm available for hire. Great at kids' parties. Not great at kids' parties. I have to go to kids' parties anymore.
Also not available for hire.
Oh, I totally am.
It's not what you said when I asked you last.
There's a difference between hiring me and renting me.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, someone said the other day, the big complaint that Neil Young has sold out to, or Neil Diamond, whoever it is, in the news, they sold out to Amazon, and someone goes, can Amazon give me a whole bunch of money to sell out too as well, please? Yeah, because people before going, oh, you know, Mo Young has sold out. And I was like, for $3.5 billion, for $3.5 billion, there's very little I wouldn't sell out for. You can have one of my kidneys for $3.5 billion. You could possibly have one of my testicles for that much.
You're not using it.
Oh, your mum's not using them anymore.
How much would you sell a kidney for?
Well, $3.5 billion is a definite yes. I don't think I'd...
Yeah.
I wouldn't even stop to think about it, but like, yep, sorted. What's the minimum I would sell it for? I mean, sensibly, enough to live on comfortably for the rest of my life and enough to buy another kidney in case the one I've got already packs up. Bit of a zero-sum game there, unfortunately.
Yep.
Somewhere between 3.5 billion and 0. Somewhere between there. Well, I've quadrupled. To be fair, we can generate what should we call it? Very easily. Photons. Like that's easy. It's not even expensive.
Henry, I need you to go in there and repair that vehicle, please.
We'll just run out of room first.
Prepared.
Ready?
I think.
Oh, it's got no fuel. Pass fuel into it as well. I can do that.
But yeah, eventually this will jam up, but we've made a whole 28 so far, so I'm not that worried. We're also out of blue research cubes. That's not... Oh, yeah, we're just slow. Oh, wait, is that... Green. Oh my god, it was low level.
Thing is quite stuck.
Okay, we're now up to. Henry, you know I said that the fastest conveyor was 720. It's not. This one's now 1800. As long as you can.
Nice.
You could, but this requires a storage hopper, 3 shortest length sorters, and 3 blue belts feeding it.
Hmm.
1540 it's settled down to.
I think that'd be more climactic than that. A cool truck, though.
I do wonder in SnowRunner if I mean, I had issues similar with Forza. The game had like nice control overlays until you rebind any of the controls, and it goes, "Oh fuck you! If you're going to rebind the controls, fuck you! You have to do them all yourself." So,
Yeah.
please don't do that. I just want to change them a little bit.
It's still got that though.
See, this is the thing. That's the level of polish I expect from the developers. Is that I want them to play it and go, oh, because I've got the heavy equipment controller from FarmSim, and that would be fabulous. But then I have to rebind everything, and when you rebind all the controls in SnowRunner, there's no way to rebind corded controls. And without corded controls, the game is basically unplayable. Or I need to bind everything across to the heavy equipment controller. Wow, we really actually outrun all of these.
Not sure what mission to do first. Do you want to drive that thing? Or shall I recover it?
Recover it. I might go and play Dyson Sphere.
Cool. I think we should recover both vehicles.
Okay. Let me go.
I'm going to...
Wait, what? Oh, we're not tapping off.
Well, I can upgrade this
one anywhere. Okay. Well, we haven't done a tier 1 civilization yet. I mean, how much? I know how much electricity the UK generates. It's about 65 gigawatts at peak. We're at a whole. It's not 65 megawatts. 65 gigawatts. 65 megawatts. One of the two.
Gigawatts. Megawatt isn't
yeah.
that.
We're at a whole half a
power
gigawatt. So everything we have on this planet is coming to 1/120th of the UK's power generation ability.
The planets are quite small. I wouldn't be surprised if the planet was like surface area of the UK.
I'd be very surprised if this is anywhere close to being as big as the UK. Oh, why don't we have any solar sails? Okay. I mean, our research is actually lacking. Why does that say not enough? Lack of matrix, lack of purples. Yeah, I'm not getting stuff in quickly enough is the issue here. So yeah, that research is only running as quickly as that. I mean, that's how I've designed it, is to pre-fill and then to do a shit ton of stuff. The 230th, we're doing alright. I mean, much than we were last night. We have antimatter on the go. I've just been working out. Maybe I'm just going to have a whole bunch of these solar sails. Sail. What are they called? Fucking these things.
ray receivers.
That's the one. Thank you, Schalke. I can't get any more there. Yes. I need. I did my first waterless wash of my car today as well, which is actually quite nice. It just gets rid of all the water spots, and then it leaves a nice sort of waxy sort of shine, which is in all sorts of fucking weird angles and is terrible because I'm really bad at doing that. But in principle, it works well. And then, is it going to piss down tomorrow? Yes, it is. So hopefully that will hide all my failings. Wait, where are these prisms going? I don't actually know how big Tanzania is. So maybe
I'm
this is
hooking up the plane filters in Golden Waterfall to go into the interstellar network.
okay. Let me go over and have a look. We are generating at the moment 30 warpers a minute and 30 research and 20 gravitons. But yeah, probably still do with gravitons souped up.
Does the Aura World receive plane filters from the network?
I don't know, but that would not be very hard to arrange. I like the noise of the ray receivers generating sun, by the way. It makes this cool meow, which is exactly the sound it makes when you generate light. Okay, there's no way this is the size of Tanzania, is it? I mean, Tanzania. There's really not. I mean, it's probably about as big as it's not even as big as the city I live in. It's a tiny place, really. Yes, well, it's definitely an improvement. But yeah, plane filters as oh, hold on. I can request it on the national. I can request it on the local network easy, because we are requesting it on the local network, but we're not requesting it on the stop saying international, interstellar network. I really wish I could just control all of these from a single dialogue. That's easy enough. Okay, plane filters.
Ready for me to join?
Yes.
Joining.
Remote demand, local supply. Incidentally, we have. I will check in a moment how many super magnetic rings we have received in total. But I think I know the number, and I think it's going to be a very round number.
There were supermagnetic rings near the deuterium production.
It's possible that you.
I'm in.
Cool. It's possible, Schalke, yes, that 100% of them over the last 4 hours has gone that way. Yeah, that is possible. It doesn't seem brilliantly likely, though. But if that's the case, if I pop in some local logistics things, those. You reckon we already have interstellar demand for rings on Dora World? Because if so, I can set that to local. Okay, yeah, that says. Wait, that says local demand and remote demand. Why would we do that? That seems an odd decision.
Bring it in from everywhere?
Yes, but the problem with that is nowhere else on the planet. So if I do local supply, That should pull it in from the remote, from space, and
Yeah,
send it out across the debris. And no, because it wants to supply them. Yeah, nowhere is supplying it locally though. Yeah, all of our deuterium fuel is asleep because we have no magnetic rings coming in from wherever magnetic rings should be coming in from. Oh wow, look at our laser. Look at the laser fire. Yeah, we are cranking out quite a rate of solar sails now. In the next patch, it does tell you this is a lot better. This screen tells you a lot more information about how much is coming in and things. But yeah, I agree. Drone management is just logistics management. Full stop is quite poor. There is a mod, as Mia swears by it, but where I'm not running it. I think we are probably already. I suppose if it's a UI mod, it's probably alright. I'm going to upgrade. Also, we should start to upgrade all of the tier 2 assembly machines into tier 3 assembly machines. Where are you today, Henry? You're actually inside me.
Where am I?
Well, you were inside me, and I can't see you. Oh, you're a Matty.
That's the word.
Can we get the final universe exploration?
No. Oh, I can start it out maybe. I mean, I can queue it up. Don't hold your breath. We are limited on purples. Purples is limited mostly on particle broadband, which we are creating a whole bunch of. I've just upgraded all of them to Mark 3s. Now we're running out of. Hold on. Looks like it could be a logistics thing. Let's try that. I mean, fractionators are pretty good already. It's just the sheer number of them you need to be useful. Okay, I've just sped up particle broadband because we'd squidged too many into down. There we go. Cool. That's jammed up. Excellent. Now we are slowed down on diamonds.
Why have we got so much iron ore storage here?
Because Schalke likes to just suck everything out of the vein quickly. I don't know why.
The thing would be that when you get the bottleneck, then you have some emptying of storage. I'm probably doing it in a suboptimal way.
It's not bad. I mean, it works. Yeah, I don't worry about. As I said yesterday, I just like standing next to these things. There's plenty of fuel rods. I usually carry graphite around. For some reason I'm not. Sometimes when I just want energy, is when I want to just clear out stuff, I just burn carbon nanotubes. Yeah, usually I just use these graphites. It's cheap. It would be nice though if you could upgrade your mech with gear So that's why I assumed the mech update was going to be the new one where you could design your own mech. It's not. You get to design meshes. They've written a whole 3D editor. It's batshit, especially for a game that doesn't have multiplayer.
Maybe they are secretly doing the strategy of enabling the mods and maybe doing it in secret.
Maybe.
Or with all the piles of money they are pouring things into features just to excite them, rather than making features that would make sense for the game.
You mean they've all gone a bit Star Citizen? I know people still talk about Star Citizen, like, you know, when it comes out, it's like, dude, you can give them money. They've already run into trouble with the ASA, and now they have to explain to people that just because they pay for a spaceship doesn't mean they're going to get it. And at that point, you'd be like, what? Well, because you're paying for a spaceship, but all you've done is you've dropped $2,000 on a spaceship design, not an actual spaceship. And like, the spaceship will go into the game at some point. Again, this sort of says to me you should go back and you should fix your tools so you can put spaceships into the game very, very quickly if you can't for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, Degosh, someone still has to make it. I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. Let me say it again slowly. Instead of implementing multiplayer, they implemented a full 3D editor inside the game. It's not bits you stick on, you genuinely place polygons. It's absolutely... I genuinely have no words to describe what the fuck I think they're doing with that. Yeah, a tidal lock planet would be absolutely better generating antimatter, like 10 times quicker than what we've got here. But we would then have to ship it over here. We are also... Oh, we have just reached the limit of our Dyson sphere status as well. We are now pulling... We're trying to pull a gigawatt. Wait, what? Requested... That's not so good. Yeah, we are running out of power on Dora World. Which is surprising given the amount of sales we are now sending up. I don't know, I think The Sims have done a pretty good job of keeping the finger on the pulse of what Sims players want. Whatever it is that Sims players want. Bear in mind, my sister once gave me a phone call saying, hello, I need to build a new computer. Cool, to play games on. Cool. How come? I've bought every single expansion pack for The Sims and I want to run them all at once. And I'm like, oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's quite challenging. There's quite a lot of them. I played The Sims. I played Little Computer People. Which in my opinion, having never played The Sims, is better. Right, what is the slowest one here? Let's start to upgrade these. This is going to be incredibly slow, Schalke, I'm afraid.
What is?
Universe exploration. Because we don't have any green. I think we just got through a whole backlog of green in the first few seconds. Oh, not green, sorry, purple. Purple. I did just speed up purple a bit. No, we actually have quite a lot of... Well, we have 205 green in storage. I'm not... Wait, why is that? Oh, of course, it... Yeah. So it only uses up cubes at the speed of the slowest one. which is purple, which is not generating at a bad rate, to be quite frank. We're generating them at 117 a minute, which is not awful, really. Don't know what that's supposed to be, but let's move it across, because I did want to get that crude oil seep at some point for too long. Anything easy I can do here. Working hard, everything is fine. No, not easily. I mean, I can. If there's any more room, I could spread it out, but not easily. So, if we are genuinely running out of power, because I am turning too much of it into antimatter, next step is to burn down all the trees. No, send more solar sails space, which means more of these, which is rings. It's okay, I queued these up. I have got a sort of asynchronous crafting. So I stick resources in, then I just ignore it for a while. And when I come back, it's done the thing I will invariably want more of. I can reach another 300 megawatts now, because the sun's not up. Keep watching, that number just goes up and up and up and up and up. Though again, you'd think I could do this. Yeah, we do have a power graph. It's awful. But yeah, at peak we're pulling 30% more. So it's this continuous receiving factor, which incidentally is odd that we can't tweak. How many graviton lenses is it?
They are a precursor to green cubes.
No, I mean, do I have any graviton lenses in my inventory? What is that? Each graviton cube lasts, lens lasts every 10 minutes? I'm just curious to compare them. What does it actually do? It doubles the requested power. Wait, no, that's requested 11, so... Yeah, I think it just doubles the requested power. Wait. Upgrading what? I mean, do you mean... this one? Because that's nice and all, but that ain't happened for a while. I mean, that's one of the issues with this game. Hey, you can upgrade the efficiency or build 10 more. I'll just build 10 more. Seems like less effort, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, the reason that's low is because the continuous receiving is low because we're on a daylight cycle. Yeah, I wanted to check on that. Yes, there you go. We're now exceeding the Dyson sphere status. I may need to get Shalka or Henry back with a bunch of dirt, but we will see what happens.
50k dirt.
Good. I'm essentially going to be making more railguns. Hopefully Shaco did enough. I think he may have. There's my yeah. Oh no, there's plenty of room. Oh yes, I see. Yes, good point. Yeah, but that doesn't mean it could do it all the time. Just some of the time. And if it meant we could run them 24/7, that would help for these, but not for the other bits so much. Does that mean the continuous receiving will go higher as well? If it runs 24/7, that's a big upgrade. But I don't think it does. I was hoping to get enough Ray receivers to run constantly, but the limiting factor is the Dyson Sphere's power, not the number of these. Because I'm now sucking, well, I'm trying to suck like more power out of the Dyson Sphere than it can produce. Yeah, exactly, Mike. Yeah. Well, continuous receiving's good because. But it's not 24/7, which obviously, and this planet has a rotation period of, yeah, it's not 24/7, it's a different number. Well, this is why you can see that the tidal lock planets are so insanely good. Because this continuous receiving gets up to 100% eventually. You know, it fills all the way out. It takes ages to do it. But yeah, the description of this one is awful. This is the ionosphere utilization. It can increase the Ray receiver's maximum output by utilizing the ionosphere. Of course, the premise is that the planet has an atmosphere. Over to, oh, it's useless. But you know, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on this, try and work out what it does. I mean, we do. No, we don't have enough graviton lenses to. We're not producing more graviton lenses than we can use. Not even close. No, 24/7 doesn't make any sense. This planet does not take 24 hours to. It orbits every 996 seconds and rotates every 395 seconds.
So is hour defined in relation to day?
Yeah.
Like is hour same amount of seconds? I mean, so if day is only like less seconds, then hour is shorter?
Well, you would generally, in this case, refer to it as Earth minutes or Earth seconds. You wouldn't just say seconds. It's like, which planet? Like, I assume we have a different way of doing this. Right, so in this case, it looks like this graviton receiver will now run 24/7, constantly. So in this case, it is worth beginning to think about feeding them lenses. And we're at purple again. Go down to 0 purple per minute because we're out of microprocessors. That's a shock. Always microprocessors, isn't it, Henry? It's always microprocessors. We've just received a lot. Just as I say that, we've received a bunch, but I've now already crafted using all but 90 of them. What are you complaining about? Product stacking. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh dear. Right. Okay, I've just sped up our Okay, you make one. Oh yeah, that should speed up our prep a bunch. We weren't using full speed for yeah. That our now research is going flat out. But where I wonder if I could craft some more. No, because I don't have any. Oh, do we have any nearby? I do. I don't know. I think the gas giant does block the launch of the thingies, though. You know, thingies. Where is our
Matches.
solar sails?
Oh wow, there seems to be quite a few coming in, and it's pretty cool seeing them appear into the Dyson ring.
Yes. My complaint though is that the railguns fire very quickly and then they just stop dead as they arrive, which is a shame. It's a shame it doesn't shoot them into an orbit. That would be much cooler.
Yeah.
But it is very cool.
So last point, like acceleration.
Well, if you look at them, it looks like they just hit a wall when they hit the position they want to be in. Oh wow,
Yeah.
that is very close to you, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Savor the burn.
About to travel back to Hot Singles. I got stuff.
Okay. Oh, I'm lost again. Oh yes, I was going to try and build some more research. Oh, wait, what are these? Oil refineries. Why are you complaining? Oh, they're unable to offload all their graphite. Ah. Wait, offload their graphite? Well, that's making graphite.
Means Hot Singles.
Hot singles in my area? Oh, there.
Bang.
Well, it depends. It's the input that is the issue. Yes, we're making graphite from oil, but then that graphite gets turned into diamonds. The diamond production... Oh, it doesn't go anywhere. Oh, yes, it does. And the diamond production is full. We are making a lot of diamonds, and that diamond production goes over to our Casimir crystals. Oh, no, it goes into... I think the only thing we use for diamonds is yellow cubes. And we're out of titanium crystals. We're at titanium crystals because... now... Please tell me this has got a spot. It does! Ah, glorious. Local demand, remote demand. Perfect. That's so perfect. Okay, so organic crystals are now automatically hooked up into our system. I'm not sure if I dare turn off our local production of the crystals. I will do that though. How can I do that? If I delete that and that, right? I'm saying this out loud, so in 20 minutes when you go, what the fuck's this broken for? Someone can remind me. So I have purposely broken the offload of the organic crystals. So we're still crafting, the whole network is in place, but it will go to sleep fairly soon because it'll all be backed up. This is how I run Fortcraft. You back everything up. You don't run everything you run everything to over capacity, so you're full on storage all the way through. So this should mean this all stacks up and we're all good. But if we're in trouble, I can unlock it and it will whoosh in. I don't think the solar sails do have any textures on them, by the way. I think that they have a texture, but I think they are. It's very simple, but that's on purpose for speed. It doesn't really help the actual issue because we've used a storage Mark II, which... Wait, do they stack? Oh, they stack. Never mind. It's all good. Problem solved. Well, problem solved until this one fills up again. I disagree, by the way. Oil is a finite resource and should therefore be used as minimally as possible. Because we have the ridiculous... I mean, right, so right now, I own a 3D printer. My 3D printer uses plastic. The plastic in the 3D printer does not come from oil. So we are already at the state in human history where we don't need to use what's the term for it? Oil that's from plants, biomass. I don't know what fossil fuels. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. So we are already at the point where we don't need to. But in this game, if you were to continue to do stuff, you would need to continue to seek out planets just for the oil and for no other resource. Because it's not renewable. What's oil? Well, oil is finite. If I were to tap all the oil on this planet, every 11 hours, the amount of oil you get halves. That's the rule. So it's not... It will never drop to zero, but it gets bloody close. But that's one of the few finite resources in the game, as far as I can see. But I would like to have all resources infinite eventually. Well, at least infinite over the next million years, shall we say?
And you don't consider iron and copper to be finite?
Yeah, but there's an awful lot more of that. Like, a lot more.
How many oil wells of oil we have? Dora World.
On Dora World we have 35 per second. In 11 hours we will have 15 per second. In 22 hours we will have 5.5 per second. In 33 hours we will have 3.5 per second. So in 33 hours our oil production will be 10% of what it is now.
So it tapers off while iron and copper keep at the... And then they hit the wall.
And they hit the wall, yeah. Henry, you're on hot singles, aren't you?
Yep.
And hot singles is where we get microprocessors from?
Yep, I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, good, because not enough microprocessors.
Trying to.
You don't believe that's accurate? My single player game has been almost entirely played as an idle game. I absolutely believe that to be accurate. Every half an hour it drops in what's the word? Every 11 hours it halves in production rate. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You get 33 hours, or you get 11 hours of the full capacity of the planet's oil wells. If I do it half that, it's the same. The curve is the same. If I pull twice as much, it will go down even less. Ross, mate, I didn't send a video on how to make an audio engine. I sent a video on how engines are made. It's not an audio engine though. Just
Vroom vroom car engine.
Vroom vroom car engines, yeah. I'm a bit concerned there's a water tank here with a lot of water in it and we're not using it for anything. I don't know what it's for and it's full, so I'm just going to stick another one on top of it. On the basis I probably had a good plan. Right, so we are really not making any headway onto this research, by the way. So I will go and put down some more railguns. Henry's working on processors.
I'm trying to get on another planet for blue coils.
A whole planet just dedicated to the coils?
Yep.
That's hardcore. They don't require plastic, do they?
No, I don't think they require.
That's the problem I've had. I'm like, cool, I'll use this planet for... Oh, I need plastics, I need oil.
Oh, there is energized graphite, but that's only an optional oil source. Does oil require the presence of biological life to happen?
Yes.
Yep.
I mean...
Most of the planets we get oil from don't have vegetation.
They do. I believe that's how it works. Like, in this game at least. But yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, if the planet has previously had vegetation but doesn't now, you know, you still get the oil underground, yeah. But that's just not how this game works. What have I got left to build? Ho, 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 ho. More? Oh, lack of item. Okay, I was going to say. Now, we don't have enough solar sails, but this only gets kind of the overrun of solar sails. Oh. I just pop a solar sail offload here. Well, currently we don't really need to launch any more spaceships because we've got I don't know how many far behind on the. Whoops! I just dropped like 600 solar sails. Please do not pay any attention to the man behind the curtain.
So what rate are we gaining power from the Dyson sphere?
You just can't tell. I mean, there's just no way to tell. Very slowly, not at all. If I put it over the last 10 hours, it doesn't look like it's going up at all. But it obviously is. It's a bit piss poor trying to actually analyse this.
So about 20 rockets per where it is?
No, it's not rockets that we care about, it's solar sails. Rockets, if you look at our actual current construction, we can put so many more sails out than we currently are. A huge amount more sails. I don't know, 100 times what we're currently doing, easily. So we're waiting on sails, not the other thing. Oh wow. Okay, I've now got railguns though over a substantial. There you go. You see them coming on one by one as the planet rotates. But yeah, I've just handed this over our full backlog of solar sails, about 400 or so, which is not that many, and I should go check why we aren't making that many. Yeah, Mike, I didn't think about the logistics tower. Oh, I don't need to. Look, I can see here. That can go up to there. This is obviously incomplete. That's very obviously incomplete. That's incomplete. That's incomplete. This K is, you know, our frame is not complete, but our solar sails are a long way behind. And annoyingly, oh wow, look at that. That's so cool. See about the error message. Sweet. Again, 10 out of 10 for this part of it. I enjoyed the game. I thought this was quite good until I shot my first railgun up and watched it orbit the sun, and then I was like, wow. It's everything I kind of wanted Astroneer to be. Like, I think Astroneer's is better in a number of ways. You know, the physics and the vehicles and all that, but I wish Astroneer had these guys' sense of scale and the ability to write half decent code.
Combining Garibaldi's and Astroneer could be a sweet game.
Yes. Oh yeah, I mean, like, if Astroneer you could actually have spaceships you flew like Kerbal, that would be great. Yeah, I don't think railguns are firing for very long though. Because of the inclination. Sweet. I hope this is coming across in stream how good it is. Ah, there we go. So then we get a null point during the day, and then they will start to be in range again. But the node, we're not waiting on the node consumption. They're moving into the nodes at the same speed they're going up. They spawn and then they take a minute to get there. So the sales per minute is fine. They're not queuing. That's just the rate they got sent out at. We have quite a constant fire now. But there's not a hope in hell we are creating the solar cells fast enough. Let's go look at that, shall we? Is this thing up to 100%? Yeah. Okay, so graviton lenses mean that, at least on this planet, one cannot comment for all the... Oh, wow. We really are failing to get graviton lenses in. Well, that's 6 graviton lenses I've nicked, and unless I'm reading it wrong, that's enough for an hour. 0.1 a minute, so 1 every 10 minutes, so 1 hour. So that's good. That actually does keep it up 100%. Yes, if you shoot enough, but we aren't at that point. We are a long way from this point. But this queue is that's quicker than I'm firing them, so no problems. Right, our solar sails are backed up because there is none of these red things. They're backed up because there is none of the prisms. And prisms are slow because...
Going back to Matty.
Prisms are slow because we're out of glass, and glass is slow because we're out of stone. Do we have stone anywhere on the networks? We don't, do we?
No, but there might be random storages on Dora World.
Except there are actually some more stone I can tap into.
There's quite a good storage on Matti.
Landing on Matty.
Yeah.
Putting that put on the network, the storage, if I can find it. Bang.
I mean, almost always, yes. There's no reason not to have anything available on the network. You might as well just run it into storage and then run it into an interstellar tower if you can, if you have the resources. Why isn't that going?
Well, if you randomly hook up stuff, then you might lose track on how many connections you have.
As long as it's on the network, it's good. Like, it's always good, because then you just pull it off. The fact you don't know where it's coming from is... I agree with you in principle, but in practice, I don't know where the fuck this shit is coming from anyway. I know what you guys have done. On a different planet that I haven't been to. So hooking everything up is about the same as you not logging on for the evening. Well, our limit's not the rails. Our limit is going to be this. Hopefully I'm now creating enough prisms, but it's going to take a little while. Yeah, we're now getting a lot more prisms through. These have already been upgraded. Well, that reminds me, did we get the... do we have any... unipolar magnets, I think it is? There's a plane smelter which lets us smelt up twice as quickly. But I think it's unipolar magnets, which are like little cubes. Other than that, we're kind of... So, I don't know what that's for. So, again, what's the artificial star for? It generates 72 megawatts. Okay. See, these two researchers seem a little bit out of odds with the main game, which is about... well, it's called Dyson Sphere Program, not Artificial Star Program. Advanced solar cells? I think that's a mod. No such thing as advanced solar cells. There's just solar cells. That mod you're running. I mean, the only thing we have left to research under technology is plane filtering, plane filter smelting, the sun, mission completed, and a bigger Dyson sphere. In here, I haven't quite got all these, but this is just solar cell life, and we haven't these because we don't have them. We don't have the things. There isn't. I mean, you can say there is, but you could say there's also a unicorn recipe. There blatantly isn't. Advanced photon combiner. I don't know what that is. I believe it exists.
Just stone you wanted, sorry.
Yeah. I mean,
For now.
you might as well. We do.
Oh, sorry, just plain stone rather than anything processed from
just
it.
stone, yeah.
Okay, fine. Will do.
I mean, realistically, this shouldn't be here like this because we're still inefficient using stone at a 10:1 ratio to convert it into glass. But I really don't have the enthusiasm to tear all this up and hook glass in remotely. We're also nearly out of coal on this vein.
Tearing it up would go towards the goal of clearing up Dora World.
Well, no, we still need to have the glass. Glass is created over there somewhere, and I'd have to run it over to here to make prisms. Yeah, cool. Also,
But, anyway.
yeah, we do have it made elsewhere, but my point is it's made the other side of this clusterfuck. Like, we have plenty of coal here. We have 3/4 million coal right there. I'm not that worried. But this is where I'm beginning to, instead of running it from there to there, I'm going to run it out of this planetary logistics station and somewhere else make another planetary logistics station next to a coal vein. And then at some point, somebody will be sending it to this planet, and then we can get rid of the planetary ones and just have interplanetary ones. Yep. Now, in theory, these can all go. Oh, that one's still working. Is that one still working? No. You're not working. You're not working. But we're not out. We still have 157,000 there. There's a nice big coal vein we're not doing something with. Now, here we go. Coal vein. Oh, right. This is. Instead, this is a coal vein that's not actually doing. Alright, this is a coal vein that's not doing anything. So here I can just pop down a logistics. Give it all 0 of the logistics drones I've got. Damn it. And you can buy coal. Yeah, given how much you end up relying on this, no system to actually allow you to manage it does seem a mite silly.
Now what to do. Logistics vessels. We've only got one here. Okay.
Yeah, I seem to recall they were being made somewhere. Oh yeah, remember I had a. Oh no, there's a couple of hundred here for reasons of I don't know why.
Logistics vessels.
Yes, at the shopping
Right.
centre there's a few hundred for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know who put it there
Coming
or
back.
why, but you know, not going to complain. What was I doing? Okay, cool. So yeah, this needs.
Far side.
No, that demands. Wow. In transit, 5,000 coal. Well, that was easy. Probably upgrade this to a class 1 then.
Doing a not galactic solar system transition to get back to Dora world.
Uh-huh.
Avoiding the sun.
Well, they do have cool bots, say that. But it's a shame they collide. It's a shame they don't come in through the top and out through the bottom, rather than going straight down and up through the other ones. Like, with only a small change, they should just go in, go down, and come out halfway through. That would look fine. What they have looks redonkulous.
Coming into Dora world. 15 seconds.
Why is this red tower out?
Also
4,
coming
3,
for Dora World
2,
Shopping Center.
1. Bang.
Oh, God. Okay, one of you's at Dora World. Game is frozen. It's downloading, it's not crashed.
It's me.
Well, let's
Dora
let
world
them
has
load.
popped in for me.
I'm going to grab a drink.
Oh no, we are down. I am about to join the game. I hear no objection, so I join
No.
the game.
Go for it. Later in the game. Please wait. We'll circle the drink. Problem?
I am in a weird state.
Uh-oh.
I am high above Dora World. And I'm not walking or jumping or...
Can you fly?
Spacebar does nothing.
Ooh.
What's happened, sorry?
I crashed and joined and now I'm in a weird state. Trying to really go out of this.
And there's no unstuck, is there?
Vast is trying to do something, but...
When you say you're in a weird state, what, like, your character's stuck, or...?
I am maybe in a T-pose high above Dora World, seeming to be anchored to Dora World's rotation.
Oh, okay. I mean, the only... There is definitely a solution, but that solution is just delete the save file, like the server data.
I'm gonna try exiting in a controlled fashion, see whether the join is different.
I thought we had hydrogen on the... demand, not supply. Nothing.
Where were the logistics drone thing? Not drones. Spaceship thingies.
Just
I'm
in front of
being
the
very
shop.
blind. Thing.
Literally just by the shopping area.
And I'm going to join again.
Okay, good luck. I are joining the game, please wait.
It's doing the 3-body thing as a loading screen. And I'm in the game, and I'm doing the T-pose.
Hmm.
Now I'm moving downwards. Okay. So when I hit ground, something might happen. And I landed.
Yay.
Yeah, now I can walk correctly.
Nice.
Nice, so yeah, graviton lenses are still our limiting factor. I'm also going to start tapping off because I am putting them into the thingy by hand. Excuse me.
Oh, there's a bunch of stone in Dora World. Where was the stone needed? There'll be more than here.
That was cold. What I do, shove it into a planetary logistics station. Don't worry about it. Just have it there ready. Oh, it has our
I don't have one handy, so.
How's our
It's near blue production.
Our Dyson sphere is now at gigawatts. I guess I can look at this one. There we go. We are generating cell points at 50 minutes, solar cells at 50 minutes, and structure points at 10 a minute. The solar cell graph's quite funny, because you can see we produce them, and we use them, and then reduce them, and then we use them, and then reduce them, and then we use them. We still do not have enough those, because we don't have enough prisms, so we're still not making enough prisms. That's what we wanted stone for, was prisms. In fact, there's quite a lot of stuff just right in the middle that uses stone. Supposed to be. Unfortunately, all of this does not go down. Oh, yes, it does. That goes into there. Okay. Probably doesn't go to there. That's now. Are we not going to end up though with transport logistics stations just for one thing? I'm just going to put one down where it used to be a coal plane, essentially. I mean, you can say no, but that's what's going to happen.
Well, I said yes.
Yeah, but I mean, you could go, no, we won't do that, but we blatantly will.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. Pause. I make two? Pick one, because I'm out microprocessors again. Now, are they being delivered is the real question.
That's what I'm trying to sort out. They probably are, but there's it's silicon that keeps sort of shutting out. Not shutting out, but it's only. I'm looking to build more logistics, not drones. The other one.
Vessels.
Vessels, yes. And for that, I need.
You were talking about the description being bad earlier. So it took me a long way because you have logistics carrier. That means, but then you have logistics drones and logistics vessels, and it's really not very obvious which is. Well, it is once you realise they're two different things, but it's not very obvious initially.
Yeah. Turbines.
Why am I
I need.
corrupting
Ooh,
those?
there we go.
Sulfuric acid is being remote storage.
Sorry, say that again?
We are not demanding or supplying the yellow liquid on Dora World. There's a
Sulfuric acid. No, we're possibly not. We should be.
Yeah, there's one demand. Yeah, here where I am, which is sort of middle of somewhere. By the purple creation. Yeah, I think that's purple creation.
Oh, okay.
I think that demand is supposed to supplement the previous demand for it. So it's we're still using the fossil fuels, but hopefully the demand, the sulfuric acid from the other planet is taking priority. At the minute, by the way, the chances of you actually getting enough warpers to keep stuff running is very small. As I keep saying, we do not have enough graviton things. I don't know what rate we're getting through them, but we are twiddling thumbs on gravitons for everything.
There was quite a good supply of warpers that I checked.
Quite surprised. Like, there might be a backlog, but there's no way that it's reliable just because we are not making anywhere near enough of them. So now I should be able to tell you. You didn't actually hook stone up, did you?
There should be one going in somewhere.
Now I got the station.
Sorry, I didn't hook it up this end or do anything with this end.
That's okay. I've just hooked it up, ready for the future. We still do have quite a lot of stone, but that won't last.
There should be a stone supply from Matty. Is it Matty?
But that's interplanetary. So Dora.
Oh,
is
right.
Pretty good on stone. 3.5 million stone.
Well, I hooked up the stone supply.
It's just our stone. Oh yeah, we have 70 en route. I hope you hooked it up with the blue.
Blue belt?
Yeah.
I could do that too.
Man, you're not still using rubbish belts.
I'm using the belts that are not being created.
If you take turbines across, I've done everything apart from that. You just have to shove turbines in a thing over there, and it will then upcraft them to better ones. I was hoping to actually start to send the turbines across to here, because then that's pretty close. Okay, I'm upcrafting. Oh, that's 1s to 2s. Oh, we are. I mean, Schalke, there's 1, 2, 3. What's that? 1,500, 3,000, 9,000, 27,000, 36,000. There's 45,000 blue belts here. It's not enough.
I guess I should be starting grabbing them.
Trying to work out where they're being made.
Yeah, away.
Because I was just going to shove all my tier 2 belts into its input, but I can't actually work out where it's made.
I'm trying to find out where I am.
I'm also starting to reduce Schalke's enormous skyscrapers, because I'm fairly sure the game's network is not smart enough to compress the content of a storage hopper. Sorry, a storage for network players. I'm fairly sure, with no real evidence, but they provide a lot of network load. It's possible it transmits them, compresses them, but there's every chance it's just not.
There's a blue creation here that's run out of iron. Yeah.
Our viewers about equal YouTube and Twitch right now. Oh. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a storage hopper here that will offload green belts. Our limiting factor is, ironically, supermagnetic rings.
Well, I should get back to fixing that. New planet. Oh, and the universe exploration is about to finish.
But yes, technically. Not enough room. Oh, that'll do. Wanted to that's cool. I also think the storage containers are way too big in this game. That should be a research. They should start off with one slot, and that's a research with 30 ticks in it to bring it up to a large number. Because right now, it's like one of them is what did I say? 9,000 of a thing that stacks to 3 high. It's way too many.
Yeah, I would like in that direction in logistic games, but there's also a lot of hate of players needing to actually bother with the storage amounts, so
Yeah, but
they like default to be too big.
yeah, I mean, this is a fault with Fortress Craft. You get given the regular storage hoppers, the yellow ones, the 100 capacities, way too soon. So I was thinking about they're probably going to be tier 2 in Fortress Craft 2. You'll start off with little hoppers. As I said, this is a phrase I got taught by an extremely famous gentleman called Eddie Joseph, and we hired him to do some talks about audio within Criterion. And he said something that, when you say it, seems very obvious, because we were trying to make the game sound loud and exciting, and he said, well, to have loud, you must also have quiet. So if your game is just loud, then it isn't loud. It's one volume. So
Everyone turns volume down.
Yeah, but it means that you can't have a loud thing in your game because everything is loud. So to have fast, you must also have slow. You have to have a range of things that start at one end and move to the other. Otherwise, no one will appreciate what you've got. So in Fortress Craft, you started off with tier 2 transport pipes and the bigger storage hoppers. You'll think they're normal. But if you start with smaller ones, you will massively more appreciate the ones you get later on.
Yeah, I think in this game trees are like skipped over very fast.
Trees.
Yeah, you get energy from trees. You can eat trees
Yes.
in about the first 5 minutes, and you realize that goal is a thing and never touch the trees again.
Fair enough, that's pretty much what we did in reality. We seem to have had... Did you dump off a load of graviton lenses by hand, by the way? Or is it just a good step? Actually, graviton's lenses appear to be working. Did anyone fix them?
I've just changed the blue thing creation. Or I'll say blue. There was by where my blue conveyor belt creation is, there was a blue cube creation bit that wasn't getting any iron. I've fixed that. Whether that's had anything to do with it, I've got no idea.
Graviton lenses is over by deuterium. It just that we suddenly seem to have... no, we haven't got anywhere near enough. Never mind.
The blue coils have some automation going on, but it's rather small scale.
The thing about basic osmotors though is that they could increase your ore per minute greatly, and therefore are great. Limiting factor. We are unable to offload. Oh, whoopsie. Well, that doesn't help. I failed to offload the deuterium from this machine. Whoops-a-daisy.
Ah. Do you need any glass? We've got a big stack here. And chemical plants empty. Fire ice. I think.
So, what did you want to do with fire ice?
No, I'm just looking. I'm looking at it and going, "Oh, there's not much."
Yeah. What? You're
Well,
joking?
it's not that there's not much.
We can't.
No, as in the bit I was looking at is what I mean.
We can't burn fire ice quickly enough. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. It's infinite, which is good. We are. Why have we got some
Mark 1.
rubbish? Yeah, conveyor belts. Hey, look, I fixed it. Now the fire ice is not running out partway around that run.
That's what I'm looking at as well. That's
Yeah,
yeah.
much better. So I usually feel that tier 2s are an acceptable. Oh wow, I just used up all of my tier 3s in that. Near infinite. Yeah, people do get hooked up with the efficiency in Fortress Craft, which I don't know why, because as you said, it is near infinite. Now, I did see an interesting discussion from one of the Factorio devs about, in theory, with an infinite play area, i.e. not Factorio, you get to the point where your requirements become more and more and more until you would A, spend all your time setting up new resource nodes, and B, being unable to put new ones up quicker than you're getting to the resources. And in theory, they're correct, but in practice, no one ever gets that far.
I think in Factorio the enemy density goes up the farther away you go from start. So, yeah, like the things you have to fight in order to set up the new outpost goes up.
Uh-huh.
Which can make it sense to have high efficiency so you don't have to fight so much per outpost.
Yeah, I'd love to see
Make
some
less
stats.
infinite.
I'd love to see some stats, because I would hazard a guess 90% of Factorio players turn the mobs off because you can. I'm happy to accept other guesses. Right, what's our research backed up on? Oh, purple and green research have stopped. Well, purple stopped, Henry.
I'm about to go back to Mati and try and get some more silicon being put into space. Leaving now.
Just yeah, that's fine. And I do have a tap of spare processors, and I've just grabbed off like 10,000 and stuck it in. So all right for a little bit longer. Bear in mind, of course, as a developer, I see every single request in Fortress Craft for how do I play the game with the mobs off. All of them. So I am fully aware of how many people do not want mobs. And unlike Factorio, the mobs aren't just there to provide some sort of arbitrary challenge. They are part of the game. They're part of the progression.
Oh, there's the planet. Oh shit, I'm about to go on the Mati. Quick hard bang. I bounced. Crikey.
You bounced off the...
So I guess this game is about to make the mistake that it's gonna be just an added challenge and they're not gonna integrate it in the production lines.
Well, hopefully, and it'd be really cool if you have to. So the way they should do it in this is instead of just wandering to every planet in the universe, some planets, some systems have enemies in them. And what you need to do is send attack vessels to it. So you need to send in many resources worth of vessels to destroy the existing enemies, and then capture the sector like that. That's fine. That would work fine. So it's an additional challenge, but it's a one that works in the style of the game it is.
I think there was some mentions about Icarus durability, so they might be going for the MOBA style combat of focusing on the Icarus or the commander.
Yeah, I mean, if they do it like Riftbreaker, I'm going to be in hog's heaven, but I suspect it won't be. But yeah, I'd say in Factorio, the mobs were an afterthought. In Fortress Craft, they were a later addition, but we did think about it quite a lot. We didn't just jam in, alright, we've got mobs. Oh, you can turn them off. They are, they're an integral part of the game's progression. They're not just something you can do or not as you feel like it. They are part of the game. Okay, now how the fuck are you at, Deuterium? What's this? Why would anyone do that? I do like the link deletes though on this. I think it's really good. Whatever you want to call it. Are you serious? Is it because someone, I don't blame Schalke, put a, yeah, it was Schalke. It's a really long tier 1 sorter. So our limiting factor is getting hydrogen into this thingy, particle collider. Yeah, if we've got unipolar magnets, I don't know if we found any, that would be cool, because unipolar magnets let us make tier 2 smelters. Not necessarily. So, Frostoid, if you take my what I have suggested as a way of doing the mobs, would that work? So the mobs aren't something that appear on your planet and attack you. They are aliens on a planet already, and you need to remove them so that planet becomes yours. I think that would work. Having it, I'll say Factorio style, I don't think that would work at all. That one can all go. And then if this tidies up,
What I thought was a interplanetary logistics station is just a regular planetary logistics station, or an interstellar. Damn it.
well, interstellar ones work as planetary ones as well.
Yeah, but I want the interstellar one, not the interplanetary one. So I can't make it. Damn it.
Can you make it though?
No,
Oh,
I
the
need
re-
titanium alloy.
There should be no lack of that on all planets apart from, well, all planets. Matty
There isn't
has
any that's
1.4
around
million
me.
titanium.
Yeah. Oh no, it's that you need the smelter, not the smelter, the chemical
The
plant.
yellow
to make
liquid
it.
also.
Oh yeah, yes, you need the titanium alloy and particle containers. Particle containers are easy enough, but titanium alloy is a pain because it requires steel, which is easy. Titanium alloy, which is titanium, which is easy. It's the sulfuric acids. It's the issue.
Yeah. Mm. I just need a few of them to make it, and then it's like once I made the one, it's like, oh, that'll do, but I haven't got it with me. Damn it.
I mean, Frostoid's the solution there is you do not put, you put the cool stuff, like unipolar magnets, in hostile sectors. And bear in mind, they haven't actually said anything apart from what they said, we're thinking about mobs. Has that been the entire discussion from them, right? There hasn't actually been any details whatsoever. This is all 100% guesswork on everybody's part.
Well, some cool ooze like that, but like the mech dress-up thing, but not prefer to durability and such. So apparently the battle model would be so that Icarus can get damaged on it.
Well, as long as I can turn it off, cool. But if I can turn it off, point in having it. Oh, wait, hold on. Why are you lacking? You're lacking that. You're just being slow.
What? Plane smelter requires very exotic materials, has
Yeah.
only double production speed, and has worse energy efficiency.
Yeah, but energy's whatever. But this means we can double the rate of production of base materials without having to actually change anything. But yeah, it's not. I mean. Oh wait, hold on. It should. Okay, yeah, it's fine. To be fair though, it's an upgrade, and that means we can either double our production rate or halve the number of machines, or double our production rate. Okay, so we're still running out strange matter, and to do more of that, I need to do more particle colliders. To do more particle colliders, I need more fucking rings. And these. At least these are easy. Rings. Why are you sulking? You're out of circles. That's right, you've made several hundred of those. Okay, let's try 3. And I will go pick up some circles on it. Whoops, I went too high. Let's go too fast. Yeah, some of these copper extractors are now offline as well.
I'm back to Dora World.
This one actually can. I'm not worried about it. We actually already have a line of. Let's make it a bit easier.
Oh wow. Polar night.
Ending on
3000
Dora World.
seconds.
Oh wow! I've not seen that modifier before.
On Dora World.
Yeah, I can tell. Oh no! Well, are you already done?
Yep,
Holy
that was
moly,
quick.
that was quick. Like, I have been deleting some of Schalke's skyscrapers of storage,
Things.
but I didn't think I'd done that much. The evolution of trust. No, I've not heard that. Bear in mind, I joined the games industry long before there were people who analysed the games industry. I've been doing this professionally for 23 years now. And there was no talk of Skinner boxes. I mean, Burnout, I wouldn't say we invented it, but we focused very hard on what we called risk reward. Sid Meier did talks about meaningful choices. So I don't keep up with this stuff because I've predated a lot of it because I'm old. But
Was Skinner only 20 years ago?
I don't know. But the thing is, Skinner boxes are something people talk about who don't really understand games. They go, oh, it's just a Skinner box. Like, every fucking game's a Skinner box. You do a thing and you go, cool, I've done a thing. I'm brilliant. That's a Skinner box. But people talk about it a lot. But yeah, these sort of game theory things are all relatively new. And because I've been doing games for so long, I'm not theory. Hopefully not incorrectly, I'm not really in a position where I need to be taught about what makes a good game. And given my last project was me repeatedly telling someone that won't make a good game, and I turned out to be right, I think I'm on pretty good...
I guess the research things are so young that they are like unproven. So it's like professionals just like pulling stuff out of their hat are like doing better than schooled people.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've gone to a lot of talks from a lot of people, and so often they are people who've never released anything telling people who have spent the last 20 years in the games industry how they're doing it wrong and they'll do much better. And it's always the same thing. It's like, cool. Well, you come back when you've shipped your first game, mate. Then we'll talk. Shauka, all of your skyscraper, all of your conveyor belts of Nightmare have no hydrogen coming down them.
No.
Like nothing. None of them got any hydrogen on at all. Yes, but computer... You're not listening. People talking about computer games with relation to Skinner boxes is a modern thing. That is a new thing. Yeah, we're just not getting enough hydrogen. A lot of it is because, again, people don't seem to quite understand that I've worked in the games industry, okay? I've released some very big games. I promise you, we're not that clever. People go on about, oh, this has been designed to maximize this and to do that. It's like, no, it wasn't. So, like, the best example, I've got two good examples, both from Burnout. If you remember checking traffic, that's because someone went, hey, look, I've just turned on the crash mode physics for the normal one. That's brilliant, let's make it the game mode. Crash mode was something we came up with one Friday. I don't know how close to release. Very close to release. Very, very close to release. We were like, look, hold on, I've just made a tiny level and I've just put all these cars into it and smashed them into each other. And we went, oh my god, that's brilliant. There was no, we brought psychologists in to analyse what players thought was satisfying, and that's just not true. That's just not how, I'm not saying nowhere, but certainly nowhere I'd ever worked. We're not that cynical, we're not that good. We're really not. But like, I don't know who Nicky K. So that you've done a thing by Nicky Case. Let's look him up on Mowgli Games. Because this is the other thing. I have a lot of respect for people who write games. I have very little respect for people who write about computer games. Nicky Case. Nicky Case is a genderqueer Canadian indie game developer best known for video games such as The Coming Out Simulator and Parable of the Polygons. Oh, and Adventures with Anxiety. Okay, so nothing I've ever heard of. And then they also wrote a game called Nothing to Hide for Browsers. I'm an old man. I don't like what I would personally call woke games. I think God of War is the best fucking thing ever. God of War is absolutely my jam. I love it. Not the new one. I have no interest in a game where Kratos comes to terms with being a father and blah blah blah. I like the old God of War, where at one point you jammed a princess into a door mechanism in order to get through it. So you rescued her, then jammed her into a door. That's my Kratos. That's what I mean, not necessarily that's what I want in my games, that's a bit weird. But that's what I want games to be games. I don't have any like this one. I don't have any interest in games being a story or an allegory or any of this stuff. I just want do this, get a score, do some stuff, get your reward. Happy with that. So this person's games might be very good. I don't know. Never heard of them. They might not be, but they're definitely not my sort of games. And I have no desire to read about articles from someone who has written those games, saying to me, here's how I think you should write games. This is what makes a good game. I mean, if your entire job is making games that are free, well, actually, let's have a check. Coming out simulator. All right, it's a free game on itch.io, so it's not even a real game. I can write you an article and saying about here's how you do things, and I can write that. But until the point where you are actually commercially shipping games that are very, very, very well received, yeah. Apparently, someone remade a game called We Came What We Behold, but it's free. So again, it has no commercial pressure. So I said we would regularly go to GDC and other game developer conferences. Jaded, burned out, tired, old blokes writing games, and we would be greeted by some bright, bushy-tailed indie developer saying that they've worked out in their studio how to ship without crunch, and how that they aren't going to have any crunch in their game, and and we're like, okay, let us know when you've shipped a game like this, then we're all ears. But at this point, you haven't shipped anything. Or, money where your mouth is, sort of thing.
My problem with the kind of tales on top of the games is that it's not part of the game proper. Like if you have some ludonarrative things going on, but if you have just cutscenes intermittent to the gameplay, then it's not part of the game part of the game.
The worst thing. So Game Pass has a lot of games, and a lot of them are. I say woke. I don't mean this in a derogatory term. I mean touching on sensitive issues, appealing to the younger generation, that sort of thing. Me, I want to see how many explosions you can fit on screen at once. That's my idea of a good game. And I found some of the games, you can skip the cutscene and then another cutscene starts up, and it's like, what do you think you're doing? Like, there are 3 cutscenes in a row, and you have to skip them one by one, and it's like, how dare you? How absolutely dare you? You think my time is worth that little when I say to you, I don't want to watch your cutscene, you're going to make me then jump to the next cutscene, because I definitely want that one, right? Oh, none of the cutscenes. Couldn't believe that. I was genuinely just flabbergasted when the game just did that.
Wasn't there Metal Gear had a save point in between cutscenes?
Metal Gear had a 45-minute cutscene or something, I think.
Wow.
What do you mean? You're saying endpoint must be horizontal. Okay, but where would you like it to be so it's horizontal out there? Wow, I'm trying to consolidate your conveyor belt, Shaka, and it's pretty tricky. Any more bits? I have not played Bastion. That, again, feels like one of the... it's a roguelike, I think. And roguelike just... I played real roguelikes a long time ago when I was young, and there weren't very many other games out. I've no interest. Wasn't Battleborn the Borderlands one? Some of the Borderlands guys using the Borderlands 3 engine.
Going over to Matty.
Did you try NetHack?
Yeah, I played NetHack on the Atari ST. Played it loads.
And Dion let on Matty.
Would I play it now? Possibly not even if you actually paid me.
On Matty. Where was I?
What would be the bad property to play? NetHack again?
Very hard. It's really hard. I mean, it's hard. It doesn't look very good, obviously. I don't know. Again, I mean, even back then, I'd make copies of my of my character by copying the files on the disk. It's fuck permadeath.
Cheater! Ah.
Battleborn is the same as Overwatch. Are you sure that that Battleborn isn't by? Yes, by Gearbox. It's by 2K. It had nothing to do with Overwatch. That wasn't why it flopped. It flopped because everyone's like, "This isn't Borderlands." Because everybody wanted Borderlands. So it was what became the Borderlands 3 engine. Please let me have messed this up. I've just deleted so many of your conveyors and consolidated into one fast conveyor, but making them link up in the air has been proving quite tricks here. I think I should also make very important. If you enjoy playing a game, that is the only important thing. Whether I like playing it or not, that's irrelevant. I don't think Zelda's good in the slightest, but I'm quite a small minority with that one. Just my point is, I'm happy to read articles by developers that I respect because I feel they have done interesting or technologically impressive stuff. That particular developer, I have no respect for anything they've done. If you do, brilliant. More power to you. I'm glad that someone has written a game that you can identify with, enjoy, whatever. It's just not me. But I know people who think that The Last of Us is just the best thing ever. And if you're there, Anthony, whatever. Some people love that, absolutely. I mean, it's a very successful game that has done very, very well, and lots of people loved it. But I sort of watched it and went, it just feels like a film. I mean, I played Fallout 4 recently, and I was very impressed with that. This is how far behind the curve I am because it's on Game Pass now. And the world building in Fallout is just incredible. Really, really, really top. About an hour and I kind of went, nah, bored. A bit too much wandering around, combat's a bit clunky. Too many cutscenes. This, on the other hand, I'm quite happy. Right, but Frosttoy, regardless of anything else, they are doing a presentation and stating what they consider to be facts about game development, which is fine. And on their CV is 0 commercial games of any note whatsoever. Like they've done a whole bunch of free games. Like I could do a free game that people love because it's free.
Our games are not real games.
If a game is free, people very rarely complain about it, and it's very easy to get blah 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 million people to look at your game. When your game is $50, it's a lot harder to get people to love it. That's just why I'm just saying, if you've only ever released free games, you're not really. For me, again, I am very interested in people talking about designing games for commercial success, or in whatever way. If you're just talking about I wrote a game and loads of people downloaded it and played it, great. I also find there are a lot of people it's their passion project, which is great. Again, if you want to do games like your passion project, absolutely brilliant, good on you. But if you have to make a game that has to make a profit because it is your day job, you view it through an extremely different lens. As for those of you who have followed the saga of the game that I was working on in the last year, you will understand That's I'll say the hard way. That was quite a spectacular crash and burn. Really spectacular crash and burn. But again, I am a developer. I do view all of these things through an extremely different lens to most people. Yes, this game is pretty edgy. I mean, that's not the pretty bit. The pretty bit is... that's the pretty bit. Setting sails into orbit. Creating our ridiculous Dyson sphere. Again, this game, honestly, I'm so impressed in so many ways with this game. Good fun. Impressive renderer. Very impressive renderer. 10 out of 10, A1, can recommend. More than I can say for this design and layout. How did I do that? That didn't help. I wonder if I just dismantle that. Turn it around. What? Wait, that doesn't make any sense. That'll help. Well, I'm not quite at the point where I need to sell my soul and develop games purely for profit. I mean, I'd like to, because then I can fund the games I really want to do. If you have some secret magic knowledge that you can tell me what games will make money, you should step into my office, because we can make a lot of money together. However, having worked in the AAA industry for a while, I can tell you that not even the AAA industry know how to make money. Most of the time they do. Some of the time they don't. They're pretty good at it now, you know. But even so, still sometimes you just get, you know, occasional commercial flops. I'll probably find, by the way, that who was it? Say Nicky Cage. We'll find that they're ultra famous now. It's just that me, middle-aged white bloke, never heard of it. In my defence, middle-aged white bloke, I can basically, I'm not quite old enough to be racist and get away with it, but I can be, you know, pretty much everything else. You have to be in your 50s for that. No, 70s probably. Yes, Mike. Mike says, stupid free games that are pay to win seem to make a lot of money. Some of them do. Those are the ones you hear about. I guarantee you a lot of them make no money at all. And that is the... I mean, that's what, I mean, we can call it the Minecraft problem if you like. Lots of people copying Minecraft. Lots and lots and lots. There are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of Minecraft clones, of which about 10 made any money. Yeah, Fortress was one of them. But yeah, everyone sees a super successful game, but like, how can we copy that? I mean, how many successful Warcraft clones have there been? But I can answer that question easy. Well, I guess one. I guess Final Fantasy has actually done very well. Now, AGM. Let me draw you a graph. Right. So here is a bell graph, right? And here is the profit, right? It's something like this. I'm sorry, it goes back on itself. So I draw this graph a lot. So sure, these games here make a lot of money, but that is It's not even 1%. That's like 0.1%. Thank you, Zebra.
So does this graph differ much from the streaming curve?
No. I mean, to be fair, it also covers nearly everything else in the world as well. Lots of things follow this curve. Car prices could follow this curve. If you look at the price of cars, almost none of the cars in the world cost more than $1 million. So you can't say, oh, look how expensive cars are. It's like, yeah, but look at the graph. Or weight of bicycles. Some bicycles weigh just, a tiny handful of grams. But not all of them. Yeah, it's a tiny number at one end of the bell curve. But this is just kind of fundamental to many things. Oh, shit, I've just soaked up all of our deuterium. Arse. Yeah, exactly, yeah. I mean, if you have more than 100 followers on Twitter, you're in the top 1%. Well done. I think I'm in the top, 0.1% because I've got whatever, thousands of followers. It's the same thing with many things, but people see the super successful ones and they go, ooh, look how much money that one's made. Even on Eden, Ari managed to do if we just get 1% of Minecraft players, it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, you won't even get 1% of 1% of Minecraft. So you get 1% of 1% of Minecraft players, you're laughing. But you ain't gonna.
Or you have to have some specific reason to differentiate between a random trier and you.
Yes, in this case we didn't. I can actually crank up our strange matter production and hence graviton lenses quite a bit more. Unfortunately, we ran out of deuterium. But I say we run out, we are getting through it like the clamp. Because we don't have enough hydrogen. What? Oh, sorry. Did you say New World didn't work out well? Are you joking me? What on earth?
It had a downturn.
Well, of course it did. It's a mobile. It's an MMO. I mean, AG, right now at this second there are 79,000 people playing it on Steam. Bear in mind, on Steam. Now that's an important note.
I guess if you make it relative to how much it was pushed.
Of course it's not. Let me draw you another graph. It's a graph of population over time. Okay. You know what game I've just drawn there? Every single game ever released. That's the Warcraft curve. That's Eve. That's Doom. That's Animal Crossing. That's the curve. People say, oh, it's lost loads of users simply as a way to just denigrate the game. Yeah, of course it has. It's a computer game. People who play computer games are quite often very fickle beasts. It was the new great thing. I remember in mind, when Warcraft came out, there was things like it, but they weren't as good. I mean, they weren't even slightly as good. There was nothing as good as Warcraft. It was so good. Whereas New World, for all its good or bad, it's just it's alright. But any game that is super popular will lose a lot of players. I mean, can you name me a game that doesn't follow that curve? I can graph it. They're all out there, but can you think of a game that doesn't do that one? As far as I know, New World has been a massive success on many platforms.
But the curve has different parameters for different games. Some games can delay the decay for a little bit.
But
have a different multiplier on the slope.
Oh yeah, but can you say any game where the phrase "oh, it's lost loads of players" is not just a self-evident truth? That's just statement of fact.
I guess one would relativize it to what the normal decay would be. Like if you lose prematurely or much more than expected.
Yeah, but you should expect the expected thing on most games is you make 90% of your revenue in the first 6 weeks. That's the expected curve. And I'm looking at the graph for this one. In 3 months, they've lost about 90% of their player base. Expected curve. Minecraft is not so. Again, what you've done, Tad, because you're an asshole, what you've done is you've jumped at the outlier. If I were to draw you a graph of every single game ever released, Minecraft wouldn't fit on that graph. Team Fortress wouldn't fit on that graph. Nearly every game does. But is this really the output production of all of this helium? What are you whining about? You don't Oh. We're burning most of the unlimited helium. Oh, hold on, that outputs... Oh. Right. Can we burn graphite? Asking for a friend. So the problem we've got here is we are producing way more graphite than we're using.
I need like the
graphene.
So if you can send with warpers graphene out, that would be
Are we not?
appreciated. I don't think it warpers. Like actual interstellar delivery.
Do you know which of the things on this planet have warpers? Because I bloody don't. Actually,
Just request the warpers.
Actually, there's one here. So there we go. So you want me to supply, local supply, remote supply. I seriously not have any logistics drones on me. AGA, if there was a formula to create a successful game, I would have sold that formula, and I knew it. I'd have sold that formula to Activision for $100 billion. So true story, and I will attempt not to get myself into trouble. I was involved in a court case where a company was purchased by a company I worked for, and then because they were working on a competing product to the product my company was working on. So basically, let's say I worked for Bethesda and we were doing Doom, and we bought Duke Nukem. Let's use that as an example. So we bought the Duke Nukem Studios. So we then closed down the Duke Nukem Studios, who promptly then sued us because they sued us for, let's say, $10 million. And then it went to court, and the judge, one of the questions the judge asked was, why $10 million? And they said, oh, that's how much we think it will make. And the judge went, why $10 million? Because that's what we reckon it will make. And that's pretty much the only reason they could come up with for their $10 million figure, was that's what we hope it will make. And that's part of the problem. Games are a bit of a dartboard. You're a bit of a throw the dart on a dartboard, really. And the judge effectively ruled at this point, and I think American law, I think it's just become law, that essentially you cannot predict how much money a computer game will make. It's just not a thing. Shalka, we have graphene times many thousands with warpers in interplanetary.
Nice. Are they leaving?
No. Yeah, one just left.
Nice. I might be having some solar cells to trade you later.
Yeah, so what's happened is our entire hydrogen production has come to a halt because we have so much graphene. It's jammed up all of our storage. Hence, can we burn graphene? But, so, in answer to your question, legally speaking, it's in the States, the amount of money a computer game has made has been legally declared as luck. So, yeah. And there are things you can do to improve your chances of a good game, obviously, but a lot of luck involved. What are we doing with graphene? Let's run there. I really wish these icons were a lot better. I don't even know if I'm following the right grey box anymore. I am, go me. And I can pop a couple more storage hoppers. Yeah, don't know what we're using these for. Anyway, hopefully I have not got into trouble. As I said, I was somewhat involved in this court case. And I haven't told you what game it was. It wasn't Duke Nukem. Oh, we are struggling to offload our Casimir crystals. Wow. Because we're not making it. Oh, it may be. Yeah, we're not making enough plane filters. Or we're not making plane filters fast enough. That's pretty good. Why don't I upgrade these machines then? Wow, that shut everybody up. I'll tell more stories about the games industry if it shuts everybody up. Okay, all of our plane filter production has now been upgraded to Mark IIIs.
Even if there was a formula how to make successful games, that would like recalibrate the value of such CDS.
Well, yes, because if everybody can make a successful game, it's like when I watch Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones, I watch these going, I'm really glad that all television's not this good because I'd never get anything else done. Because, you know, they're extremely good and rare. But I have seen people, like young people, complain that, oh, Marvel films aren't all that good. I'm like, right, you've got to be joking. Like, come up to my house, we're going to spend the evening watching films from the 80s. Not Terminator 2, not Aliens. We're going to watch the average films of the 80s. When you've only ever watched Marvel films, and you know, and that's your benchmark for a good/bad film, you do not understand the breadth and scale of the bottom end of films. I've mentioned some of the bad films I've watched before. I won't do it again at the moment. So it's the same thing. If everyone could make successful games and they were all brilliant and amazing games, people would just get pickier and pickier and pickier about what constituted a good game.
Which might be cultural progress, but financially that would be treading water.
I mean, they are. I mean, some of the games we have at the arcade. Okay, we're talking about games from mid-70s, the oldest ones. I'm not joking. They're not even as entertaining as a Flash demo. They're genuinely like, I just don't want to play this. This is just not fun. Or you wiggle it for 30 seconds and go, oh, cool. Isometric. Done. That's all you want to play it for. And that happens a surprising amount there. I said I have access to hundreds of some of the best and some of the most mediocre arcade games ever made. And it's astounding. Wait, why don't we have any graphite? It's astounding to see how much the games industry has improved in the last, like, really, wow, it is so much better.
Yeah, as an art form, games are like really young.
Well,
Because film and such are quite young, but they are like old compared to video games.
yeah, the thing is, I've been hearing that argument, Shaka, for about 40 years. Like, it's not as old as film. Now, hold on. I seem to recall, and it must have been about 10 years ago I read this, someone pointed out that for the first 30 years of filming, they hadn't worked out they could move the camera. The camera could pan, but the concept of moving the camera forwards and backwards wasn't heard of till like 1940 or something, like quite a period after we had movies. And they said, that's where computer games is. We haven't figured out we can move cameras yet, and whatever the equivalent is. Realistically, obviously, the development rate of modern games is vastly higher than the film industries of the 30s and 40s, but it's an interesting thing to think about. For me, it was GTA 3. GTA 3 was just GTA 2, but in 3D. But it couldn't have been done until the PlayStation 2 came out. We didn't have the power, and it was a radical jump in what you could do in a computer game over previous stuff. To be honest, VR is the same thing. If you've not played VR, I don't care what you've read, give it a go. It is to the point where you almost don't want to play 2D games anymore. You want every game to have VR support. I'd love this game to have VR support. Imagine if you could just grab the planet and spin it round in your hands. Oh, that'd be so cool. Things like that. Like it's... there are already some massive jumps. I mean, those of you who watch the racing streams we do, I've got a motion simulator again. It's just so much better being on the motion platform. I've also got rumble units in my chair. Even now, I'm amazed these aren't mainstream. They're so good. I've got like a £5 USB sound card, a £10 amp. It's a knob sound amp because it has a knob on it. It's called knob sound. And the bass transducer was about £20. So for under £50, my chair can rumble with the game. And my goodness me, does it make a difference? It's really good. And I'm really surprised this isn't a really standard thing.
I guess there has been like negative feelings about that. I remember N64 had Rumble back, and that was like thought that it would be better improvement than it was.
Well,
and like the power glove, now you're playing with power.
So
the fantasy was kind of similar to what we have with VR now, but it was like lacking very much.
I think the power glove was pretty good actually, because you got analog inputs through the fingers. There wasn't. We need the power glove back. The issue was the power glove was all right. The issue was what you were playing the power glove on was the problem. Right, I've just been tracing problems back, by the way. So you've demanded graphene. I'm now sending you graphene, and the reason I noticed that was because the hydrogen, the deuterium production was around because the graviton lens was down, and the reason that was down, yeah.
Hashtag let's play with power.
Processes here that aren't being sent off world, and they're being fed into an interstellar logistics center, but nothing's been done with them
Because no one's requesting it right now?
because it wasn't enabled on the logistics station thing to be transmitted.
I've just realised, by the way, that my white cubes, they weren't producing, so we haven't been backing them up.
Ah.
So they weren't producing because they'd run out of... Get across there. There we go. We're now backing up. So that's good. well, hopefully we're not blacking out, but or at least we're now create. I came over to see how many white cubes we made, and it just said product stacking. We had 145 bats, so that's not bad. This will give me a reasonable guess how many, because we need 4,000 for when you complete the game. Shall I continue down vein utilization? Because this one has an infinite number of loops. I don't know whether or not that number goes down, but I'm assuming eventually we get infinite ore. Is that right, or does it drop off to near infinite? Oh man, we really don't have very many purple cubes. Oh my goodness. Why don't we have oh, that's Henry's fault again.
Hmm?
We don't have purple cubes. Is reliant on microprocessors.
We should be getting some stuff now.
There might be the limiting factor is the logistics vessels. There are 8 of them are sitting doing nothing, and the ones that are travelling are only carrying titanium. Where are we sending those from? Let's see if I can have that hot singles.
Hot singles for that one. I'm also looking at some in Mati currently.
I haven't been into space in like 3 episodes. Oh wow, that is so cool. That's super awesome. Oh, I went into space without any extra power. I'm good because
Yeah.
oh, I've just landed and there's just loads of silicon veins offline.
Yeah, there's no silicon being on the world itself anymore.
That's not true. There's 206 left.
Technicalities.
Pocket change.
Yes, I didn't say it was a lot of silicon, but you know. I just tear all this up then, because we're creating silicon stuff here, but we're not because there isn't any. Making the safe go smaller. I assume we're being sent silicon from another planet.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to work on.
So, I should point out, or remind you, we do have another tier of crafter, and I'm not seeing you guys using very many. Now we're limiting here on limiting here on iron.
There shouldn't be much limit, but
The limiting appears to be just on iron plates, and the limit is we've got tier 2 things, not tier 3. So it's sitting there going, nope. So that one has got no iron, this one, and they're struggling to offload. Yep, it's becoming quite a common thing. It's crappy, or outdated, should we say.
going to hot singles.
Wait, there's the craft. Yes, I mean, good audio is difficult. I mean, that's why I specialised in it. I ran a whole department who specialised in it. So, but it is a under-noticed at times discipline.
Landing on hot singles.
So what are the main ways when the audio is not done stellarly? How you can now?
on hot singles.
If audio is done adequately, you never notice it. Like, the audio in this game's fine. Nothing wrong with it at all. It's got some nice effects. Like, when you go from the planet up to space, the sound gets thinner. So if I just fly upwards, listen to the audio. As the atmosphere disappears, the audio gets thinner. That's really cool. Like that. It's a nice little touch. It's pointless, because I bet you not a single person in the stream noticed that until this point. Because you wouldn't. That's the sort of thing I noticed, because that is my area of speciality. But it's a nice little touch.
Maybe players are like subconsciously noticing, like it impacts their experience, but they can't pick it out.
Bet they don't. So, again, I worked on the game for a long time, and the only thing that reviews, let's talk about reviews because it's easier, ever picked up on was the thing we had in Race Driver Grid where you could choose your nickname. A feature that I championed. So obviously it was big in Forza. We had to fight for it as well. We really had to fight for that. Yeah, so Henry, if you see all these things, if you click on any of these, they are struggling to get them in or struggling to get them out. They themselves are actually fine. So all of these sorters need to be upgraded.
You did have more copper coming through. That's now...
We're actually lacking copper on some of them.
Yeah. Needs more copper processing. Or is our main vein supply reduced, maybe? No, it's a full line exit of it.
Touching back on Nicky Park, I also question, and this is something where there's a guy called Dan Bat who I absolutely agree with on this. I question why that person is doing articles about how to write games rather than writing games. As I said, I have much less respect for people who talk about writing games than just writing it.
Because it's easier to talk about it.
It takes a lot less time, and I kind of feel that I should talk about stuff more, and I don't. Like, I should, because we're doing, Brett and I doing this parkour. We're doing Dungeon Defenders without turrets with parkour. Let's describe it as that. We're quite excited about that.
Like Mirror's Edge parkour, or?
No, because remember, Mirror's Edge parkour was 30 people, and they didn't do anything else in the game apart from parkour. That was, the whole thing. Closer to Doom's parkour. Indie parkour. But I should really talk about it more. The problem is, I do worry if I show anything that's not Fortresscraft, people are going to get angry at me for not doing Fortresscraft. And I also don't want to show stuff that's definitely going to be shipped, that's definitely ready. Like I said, just talking about which it makes me go, I feel I should have finished Sneaky Spaceships, because I really like the concept of Sneaky Spaceships. I really do. And I kind of feel that, maybe I'll go back to it. Did I officially cancel Sneaky Spaceships? I don't think I did, or did I? No, I didn't. What did I officially cancel? Sub-Commander. No, maybe not. There was some channel, I deleted the channel. But yeah, I've been working on a whole bunch of different projects, with a large part of my goal being getting ready for understanding what I need to. Oh, did I have any dirt? No. Just trying to work out what the hell these are. Play that on these circuit boards. Right, there are enough circuit boards going down this line. Yeah, well, unfortunately, the mixer integration, there's not much I can do about that. I actually deleted the rule about mixer integration the other day. I was still getting emails. Not emails about it. Lacking those because easy upgrading. But I haven't come to any. I haven't sat down and made any concrete plans for this year yet. I've got some vague plans. Finished some of my games. It's like VR Space Station. I really like VR Space Station, but I'm worried people are going to complain that there's not enough game and it's too simple, it's too easy. Which is odd because I'm playing this game and quite a lot of time I'm just sitting here watching stuff happen and you can't really go wrong. So it's one of those that I need to pay attention to what I need to pay attention to what I actually like and just do that. And quite frankly, if you don't like it, I don't care. Well, I care a bit. No, Zebra, sadly not. It was the low latency part that really made Mixer what it was. Yeah, we're at Copper. Henry was there. Allow me.
More.
Oh, you and Scoot has the colours.
Right, I haven't got any of those on me, so.
I've just made some. Instantly, we are only at 90% power generation on this planet now. Oh, we haven't got the expansion yet. So, expansion. The next patch gives us magma power.
Yeah.
I can't make any. Anything really. Yeah, but so when we got things like this is when I realise how much. Oh,
That didn't upgrade for me.
that's upgrade. It's flashing. It's. I've got two. You've got two in the same square.
Hacks.
It's still failing to offload though, so let me just delete those.
Yeah.
Okay, it just says collide with other objects.
Oh.
I'm trying.
There is a black hole that is a source of unipolar magnets.
Oh. I can't build it there, it just says collide with other objects. And I guess I can do this, but I don't know quite. Oh, I still can't do it.
Some of the stars also have gas giants that allow direct deuterium harvesting.
That would be nice. Oh man, look at the solar sails there going into orbit.
Yeah.
Oh man, that
Pretty
is...
cool from this planet.
Yeah, I would go and have a look, but I just realised I haven't got any power. But yeah, with Space Bear, I did do a bit more work on it. I need to kind of just release it and just see how it does. Really, I kind of want to release something with how to phrase it. Promise isn't quite the right, but just saying, people, look, if it does well, I'll continue to work on this more, and if it doesn't, I won't. Like, it's not early access as such. It's just I don't know whether people will like this, and if you guys like it and think this is the best thing ever, I will do loads more work on it. And if it kind of flops, then I won't. The problem with that is, will anyone buy a game where the dev goes, actually, I might not be doing any more on this?
Yeah.
Because everybody loves the idea of upcoming features and patches. That said, the games that I have, and I will pejoratively use the term abandoned, the games I have abandoned, no one really seems to give a fuck up. They complain for a little bit, and then they just stop caring. Like they can paint very briefly that it's been abandoned, and they just get that.
I guess if there's clear communication that's been abandoned, then there's not a big mismatch of expectations.
Well, I mean, with Fortress Craft, I wrote very clear, detailed explanations of why I was stopping development. People going, "Oh, they've abandoned the game." But no, I didn't. I finished it. Well, I don't think it's finished. Right, but I do, and I wrote it. So, you know, it's like watching Star Wars going, well, I don't want my money back. I don't think it's finished. Okay, so just one thing. What's the future? What's the future of cars going to sound like? Okay, racing games in 10 years' time are going to sound shit.
It's kind of funky that there has been a culture of like things are like super hyped and like develop constantly instead of being finished.
Yes.
Code releases are not a thing so much anymore.
I mean, I believe VR Space Marine has all the levels. I believe they're all done now. The only one that's not done is the combat level, which is pretty cool because you build the same power things, then you have weapons. The idea was for VR Space Marine, if it did all right, I was going to do a sequel that would expand on the base features of the game. And that's kind of how I want to work more, which is to release games with a, you know, it's a little game. You know, you'll get a few hours enjoyment out of it. It looks pretty. It's a good thing to show off. It's low VR sickness. I hope you like it. And if you do, great. We'll do a sequel. Oh yeah. I would also like to do Packet Storm VR. Yes. I mean, Packet Storm didn't sell very well. Unfortunately. Let me switch to the right tab. But the problem is, I think a lot of it is I am at my heart a games player, every bit as much as I'm a games developer. So as a games player, if they re-release exactly the same game again, only it has VR support, I'm probably not going to be very happy. Now as a game developer, I understand how much extra work just went in supporting VR. But if you look at, let's say, Borderlands 2 VR, I mean, I pirated it. It was so fucking awful. And then went, oh my god, this is so awful. Which made me so sad because I love Borderlands 2. It is one of my favourite games. And I wanted the VR version to be great. It really wasn't. Do you want to have a guess, Zebra? How many copies of Packet Storm were sold? You can all guess. Packet Storm. Have a quick Google if you haven't seen it. It's a game I did. Holy moly, we're producing so many circuit boards, Henry, that were jammed up.
150.
That's an exceptionally good guess, Schalke. Sadly. And this is the other thing. I don't think people have a real clue. Again, that bell cart, that curve that I showed you. This is the thing. Games either ship 1 million copies or they ship 160. Now, I love Packet Storm. I think Packet Storm's great. It's very zen. It's everything I want in a game. You can't fail, sort of. When you do fail, you just have another go with improved stats. That's what I want in games. I don't mind being requested from a game to get better, but I have got to the point where in my life, if I play a game, whatever the game, I'm pretty much as good as I'm going to be at that game pretty quickly. I am never going to get better at aiming in a first-person shooter. Like, that's not going to happen. I hit my peak a long time ago. And as I mentioned, I hope you all read the post I put in the general chat the other day. It was quite interesting, I felt. I was asked about the accessibility stuff in Fortress Craft, and I just kind of touched on why. Now, if you've played Doom Eternal, on a pad, to do the jumps, hopefully you can imagine a pad, you have to do jump, jump, dash, dash, grapple. So on a pad, that's AA, jump, jump, BB, dash, dash, then you have to click the right stick. And I am struggling with this. Now, bear in mind, I have all my faculties, my fingers work very well. I might be an old man, but they all still work. But trying to do that maneuver in, and I'm talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 8, beat, beat, right click. It is very difficult. And if I had any sort of motor function, issue with my thumbs, arthritis, that is not going to happen. And when games request you to get more physically adept at the game, I have a real problem with that. What I don't mind is you can have unlimited attempts at doing whatever it is that you're trying to do, and if you fail, you earn a bunch of experience points, and therefore the next time you try, your character's a slightly higher level. I'm fine with that. So that means if you're good, you can do the level first time. If you're average, you can do the level in 2 goes, and if you're terrible, you can do level in 5 goes. But if you've got, I don't know, cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, some sort of real issue stopping you playing games, you might take 50 goes, but you can still do it. And that's why I like Packet Storm, because there is an ideal and perfect way of doing it. Or you can just throw shit tons of time at it, and you will always beat the entire game, as you give it enough time. It's like Fortress Craft. A good player can beat it in 100 hours. A terrible player will beat it in 10,000 hours. Everyone can beat it, and that's really important to me.
I think Packet Storm could be a bit sensitive on what you're doing.
But you can never fail at Packet Storm, because you fail, you'll have more research points and you can upgrade. There is a best path, there is a most optimal path through the game, but it doesn't matter if you get it wrong.
But if the optimal path is like 40 minutes versus 43 minutes, then it's not super sensitive on what you're doing.
No, Packet Storm is. It really, really, really. But my point is, you can't go wrong. You can't get to a point where you're like, I'm never going to be good enough to do this. You just wait. Okay, so just one thing. What's the future? What's the future of
Did you
cars
take a
gonna
look
sound
at
like? Okay, racing
Need to
games
Know?
in 10 years' time are going to sound shit. No.
Yet. Uplink is also kind of graphically similar to what Packet Storm is doing.
Yes.
Oh, here's tires.
What do you think my...
Not only graphically.
Well, okay, that was terrible. What do you think my inspiration was?
Oh, it was that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Uplink was there. I mean, other games too, but Uplink was a big... I mean, this is the thing, I get accused of all sorts of things. If you actually ask me, I'll tell you the real reason I write things. I wrote Packet Storm because I read about Dijkstra's algorithm and went, I'm going to have a go at that, so I did. That was it. That was my entire motivation, was I want to write Dijkstra's algorithm. I have, cool, how can I turn it into a game? I'll simulate the internet. Brilliant. Same thing with my voxel engine. Can I do a voxel engine? Cool. What do I can do with this? It's still going back to, talking about Skinner boxes and psychologists involved. Most game developers are not that, I say smart or savvy, that's a bit mean. They're not that, they want to write something cool. And that's what we want to do.
Like a painter is somebody that picks up a brush and makes a picture, rather than attends lectures and then does it in the right way.
Prisms. Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between someone who paints because they love it and they want to, and someone who, oh my god, what is this? And someone who is specifically designing art to sell. Unfortunately, although I am where I can possibly aim number one, I'm also bound by the fact I have a mortgage to pay, also number two. I'm just quite bad at it. Right, what are you whining about? Oh man, we've had a arc smelter here for the entire game but no one hooked up to anything. Well, there we go. I am just going to go and grab another drink. We should be finishing fairly soon because some of us have a life. Not me, but some of us do. Back in a minute. You can watch
Such heresy.
watch the watch that go. Yeah, I mentioned earlier about being a bit leery about showing stuff too soon. Bear in mind, of course, I did do Fortress Craft 2D, which got cancelled because I ended up showing it too soon and the internet didn't like it, so I cancelled the game. They really didn't like it.
How is the internet not liking it good reason to cancel the game?
Because I wasn't ready to show the game. Kotaku linked in an article an old video, many weeks old, of the game without my permission, without asking me, not telling me at all. I'd have happily, all I got was, oh, he's copied Minecraft, now he's copying Terraria. So my first shot, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. That was gone. So I was stuck at that point. You know, that was it. This was not going to happen, which saddened me because I really like Fortress Craft 2D. Unfortunately.
How do you estimate whether it's going to happen or not?
Because at that point I don't know, a year or two out of Fortress Craft's release, and I had a good handle at this point on what sort of reaction I could expect from a game that people really wanted, and this was not going to be it. This was going to be another failure, essentially. Which was
that based on the readers of the article, or that what kind of thing was written on it?
Oh no, the article itself was a bit of a nothing. The point was they linked to an unlisted video on my YouTube channel, and that video obviously got lots of comments, and none of them were positive or wow, this looks great. It was an internal video just to show off various bits of tech. It wasn't presented in a good way. It wasn't presented to show off people, or this is the cool thing that's in this game. It was just a random snippet of the game, and at that point the damage was done. I was never going to get that level of coverage again. So yeah, I get leery about showing stuff too early because of that. Hopefully you guys have been following on the Discord #unnamed HDRP projects. I'm trying to get a little better, showing off some of the cool stuff, and also, and this is the other thing, that's how games look when you're developing them, and that looks pretty good. But I've been showing off some of the tech and bits and bobs there. So you see we've got lovely volumetric shadows going on there. Really nice volumetrics. Very happy with volumetrics. But the moment I start to show you this now I'm showing you live screen, I'm like, it doesn't look as good as I wanted. It looked really good when I took the photo. A screenshot. So yeah, I've been playing around with this a bit, which is HDRP, which I do need to get a handle on because I do want Fortresscraft to be super sexy HDRP. Right, did I speed up the
Angle too wide.
You can eat as pies. I mean, I heard, Henry, that you're too fat to play board games, so that's probably your issue.
Oh,
That was brilliant. He just sat back and went, I've eaten too much food to play board games. Like, that's terrible. Okay. What are these things? They are photon combiners. Let's make a bunch of those. We're now making more...
there we go.
Those. Oh well, this was not my first falling out with Kotaku. They had a bee in the bonnet. I mean, the thing is, they're there to make hits, and they did it. They did an article. They did a hatchet job on Fortresscraft, and they used literally the worst image of Fortresscraft. So they just googled Fortresscraft. They took the very first hit. So this was one of the very first pictures of Fortresscraft, and it was thankfully off my website. So I said to them, take down that article. You do not have permission to use this picture. I will happily supply you with pictures of the game. You are, for some reason, using a picture from several months ago. I don't know. I do know why. I don't know why. And the guy refused. So I just replied back and CC'd an editor at Kotaku going, I will do a DMCA takedown. Do not make me do this. Take the picture down. I will supply you with them. I ended up writing fucking articles for them and Eurogamer because they're quite happy to just take an article. And the best bit was someone goes something like, oh, you know you're a real piece of work indie developer when you need to put together a spreadsheet to prove your game isn't a clone. And I'm like, right, okay. But I think I've proved my point that my game's not a clone. I mean, I may have had to do a spreadsheet, but I think I've proved the point the game isn't a clone. And here you go. Ah, the bad old days. Or good old days. With more money coming in. I don't think the logistics. I don't think these are used for anything else, are they? If I go to that and then these, they're used for ray receivers and solar cells, and that's it. And we really don't need that many ray receivers, and all the solar cells are just being made here. Although we're still not making. We're probably backed up on prisms. Unfortunately, I can't make any more prisms because there's not enough room here. No, there is enough room. There isn't enough glass. I wonder if there's any chance I can request glass off the network. Oh, I might be able to actually. Pity. Having said that, I believe the glass generation is just over here. Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, realistically, there's room for both. There's room for Fortresscraft and Minecraft. I mean, there's room for 10 million other games as well. It's just that there was a certain subset of Minecraft fanboy that seemed to think that people playing a different game would somehow impact them. I mean, I had a lot of those people going, very proudly going, I would never play Fortresscraft. It is a travesty compared to Minecraft. And it's like, dude, you can like both. You're not, and it also, you're not in some sort of special club, right, mate? Like everybody plays Minecraft. It's one of the biggest games there is. Like, great, you're in a special club, you and 35 million other people. It's a bit like, getting really, really, really like, actually, I only watch Marvel films. I don't watch. It's that sort of level of. Okay. But because Minecraft fanboys are so rabid, shall we say, that is obviously what drove a lot of Fortune-Craft's success back in the day. But not Fortune-Craft Evolved. Fortune-Craft Evolved, I think, had shaken off the Minecraft anything. And I'm going to have to get from in here over to that. In there like that.
Yeah, I think making the planets like contain less resources, that you do more planet hopping, would do good for the game.
But then you would spend more and more and more time having to rebuild everything on the new planet, and then you're starting to force players into using resource blueprints.
But like instead of doing the whole production line on the first planet, that you would do it across multiple planets.
Oh, what like Ashnier then? So you get your basic items on the first planet, and then you go on to the second planet to get the next tier of items, and so on and so on.
Yeah. Here it's quite fine to be on the starting planet for quite a long time.
Yes. Well, I didn't. I mean, I only left the solar system because you basically made me. Because I'm like, why? You're like, oh well, there's. I mean, you even struggled to come up with much in the way of compelling reasons to do it, but I did in the end.
And I'm kind of thinking that's the shortcoming of the design. They
Yes.
have like all these orbital mechanics and all kinds of different planets, and then you just never visit them, at least not for your production line related reasons.
No, I mean, we basically go to hot singles or wherever, and then we just jam everything back at the start planet. Supposed to be emptying out those processors. I put this here, and that's okay. Let me kill that for the next however long. I have a sorter. Can I fit? So there we go. Right. Splitter. Oops. Add a splitter. Priority from there. Back? Nope. Okay. What? Huh? Wow, we really are making an awful lot of photon combiners. Oh, to the point where we could actually have some more solar cell creation. The question is, I can't only. I can only go to there because these are too close. Thank you for popping in, Mike. You're always welcome. As I mentioned before, if you guys are, if you've got mobile phones, we are doing Wreckfest on Sunday, and it is definitely the more the merrier on that. So that's for 24 players. So you're all welcome to come and smash in my back doors. Wait, phrasing. Yeah, I've got like 100 arc smelters in my inventory now, and I want to get rid of them, and I just pick them up from hot singles. Why don't you work? Oh, I didn't craft that. We're up to a whopping 4 solar sail crafted now. Unfortunately, to have more, I need to shove the whole thing 3 squares this way, and to do that, I need more soil. Oh. Yeah, so what I can do is I can have it running along here. I think. Malcolm, I'm glad you enjoyed the video. The reason I did the Tesla thing at the end is because I had a whole bunch of little. Basically, I knew the questions people would ask in the talk. And then I just quite frankly preempted them. Hence, I've got this cool video. I'm just going to show it to you. That Tesla one's weird. It's very loud. And I'm not sure what that is. But it's just tire squeal because Teslas weren't quite so good at managing their traction control. I did watch the video of the Tesla versus the new BMW, and it's weird because the BMW, it wheel spins and catches like an ice car. It's like a whereas Teslas, they don't wheel spin. They just don't wheel spin. I don't know what Tesla have done with their traction control, but it is superb. Whereas whatever BMW are doing, apparently they've just lifted it off. I don't know. It's like the Tesla one runs at 5 gigahertz, and the BMW one runs at 5 megahertz. Like, genuinely weird comparing them, because it's astounding what EVs can squeeze out of normal tyres when you get like Ferrari Enzo or whatever, and it does 0 to 60 in, well, actually less, but more, sorry, but they have fancy tyres on those, like very fancy expensive tyres. But I think back on the old Model S's, I don't think they had such good traction control. No, it's didn't. Really? You're joking? You were actually joking? Were you just asleep during the car wow video? I can't play it now because I'm likely to get a copyright strike. Like, you've got to be joking. It went. It wasn't wheel spin, but it was blatantly killing the power, applying the power, killing the power, applying the power in a way that Teslas don't do. I don't know what it is. I don't know what part of the car that Tesla do right on that? Absolutely zero. But you just don't get that effect. No, this was the whatever 0 to 60 launch on CarWow recently. And it was slightly damp, but it sounded like an ice car. And I think the video that the bit of the video that I linked was, I think that may have been before Tesla quite got their traction control down pat. Now if I do that, that's the goal, is down there. Now the video that you showed earlier, in that one, I think that may have been a previous generation of the Tesla traction control. Hence why it made that noise. I said that's one of the things I've just been utterly blown away by, is how... The thing is, I keep on hearing it's a heavy car, it's a heavy car. What was the one I was looking at, was reading about the other day? It was it was a Ferrari versus a Rimac. Again, it was on CarWow. What was the Ferrari? It was a very, very, very expensive Ferrari running 800 horsepower, but it was only like 75 kilos lighter than the Tesla. And I was like, oh, I kind of thought that, because people always go on about, you know, how heavy these cars are, you know, how crap the brakes are, but I bet you the Ferrari's got Brembo brakes as well, even if they're rebadged. And anyway, slightly more, and I do mean slightly more. Old Tesla Model Y? You don't mean a Model Y, you mean Model S. It's not out yet. I know, Dora. Uncle Malcolm is talking bollocks. Yes.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. Assuming that Model S, not Model Y. Now, just as you said that, like Dora's went.
A defensive reaction.
No, she just makes that noise just to make sure that I'm paying attention once in a while. I spent a bunch of time tidying up the garage today, and every time I went out, she'd follow me out, and I came back in, she'd follow me in case that something exciting was going to happen. Nothing exciting happened. Right, there we go. We're now up to 9 solar cell machines. I don't know if we have the infrastructure to run it. And mostly by that I mean the prisms. Oh, actually, we might. Everybody is Uncle X or Alt Y to Dora. That's how it works. We appear to be in weird equilibrium. It's getting up to here. And then, oh, slightly further away. Are we actually in actual perfect equilibrium with these? Oh no, we are actually creating too many prisms. Wow. Awesome. That means prism not limiting factor. These can upgrade. Henry, you'll be pleased to know there are plenty of chips.
Hurrah!
Do you know why there are plenty of chips?
No.
I sorted it out, didn't I? No, it was a combination of, say, running out of copper like you spotted, and the sorters just getting backlogged.
Yeah.
I was on top of the cupboard just staring down at me. Oh, oops. Yeah, we're all up to Mark III production machines now.
Nice.
Is it? Does anyone who's played this more than me know whether or not the veins utilization, which is an infinite research, ends up with infinitely strong veins, or does it just reduce it by 6%, then 5%, then 4%, 3%, 2%? So it goes very low, but never to zero. And we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. We have 1,800 whites. So we have an interesting choice here. Again, Sharka, you're quite correct on the... I can either complete the game, or I can continue to unlock upgrades. Like, it's the same cost. I feel that I should complete the game and then unlock the upgrades. Because ray transmission efficiency also gets to infinite. And the number of drones you can control goes to infinite. I assume that's more for blueprints. The amount of fuel you can have, the speed of your drones, the speed of your warp is... Oh, that's limited. Oh, that's a shame. That's not unlimited. And the amount of energy you can hold. I mean, I think I'll get vein utilization anyway, because we are that concerns me. Just running out of veins.
Oh.
Reducing that is a good idea, even if it's only 15%. Yeah, but we don't have enough to do this constantly, I'm afraid. Much as I would like to. What I will do though is I will... The researchers going. Wow, that looks awesome. But yeah, I agree with what Mike said. I think the number of hashes per second for all researchers could do with going up by a factor of about 1,000. Nah, maybe a factor of 10. Like, it's way too quick to research things. Like, this is actually the slowest thing, but we're not limited by our hash rate. We're just simply limited by the number of white boxes I've made, which fascinatingly is not limited by antimatter. What is it limited by? Why are you not opening? You're telling me I have to fly upwards before I can click on top of the purples. Yeah, white cubes are limited by purple. Last thing I do is just have a quick look at purple. Every time I look at purple, I always say the same thing. We're not out of microprocessors. Blimey. We're out of broadband because we're out of carbon nanotubes. Because there's not very many coming down here. Why? That all the carbon nanotubes we're making? That does not seem like a lot. We must be making more somewhere else. And if we are we sending it here? and we actually send carbon nanotubes into here. Oops. Where are these carbon nanotubes coming from? Oh, like we have a single carbon nanotube factory here. Must have had more. There's no way. Well, maybe we haven't. Maybe we've just been running on a backlog, slowly sinking. Cool. Well, if you guys can just begin to finish up what you're doing, so I can go to bed, that would be wonderful.
Yeah. I'm gonna link back the remote solar cell production. I have about 3 factories churning out solar cells.
Have you seen what I'm doing for solar cells now?
Not particularly, but you have somewhat more.
I have
9 or something.
9, enough room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more. There's no way I can run that flat out. I'll run out of. I'm now running out of prisms. Not making anywhere near enough prisms, but that's okay. Limiting factor. There's always a limiting factor. You're never going to balance anything. Oh, that's because we don't have enough glass, and we don't have enough glass because. Did I get through all of our glass? Oh my god. We don't have enough glass and not enough stone. So glass comes from over here. Oh, right. We've got enormous tens of thousands of glass. Oh. Just as simple as we don't have enough offload capacity. No, that's empty. These are full. This is a terrible design, Jalka. Kind of in through one way and then kind of just higgledy-piggledy goes through another way. And this is slow because we're running out of concrete. Oh no, it's not. It's slow because we can't offload. No. Ah. It's slow because these are old.
I guess I'm flying back to Dora World soon.
Okay.
I know. Also, the home star was for long unnamed.
I noticed you called it not so Star Wars. No, you called it Star That Was. Now I say it out loud, I guess it probably wasn't a Star Wars reference.
No, but what reference it is? Ah.
I don't know. Does the chat know? Does that sound woke reference to me? But yeah, so next time we will continue, like, I'm beginning to begin to tidy up the planet a bit. As we're getting more and more stuff off world. If we're confident about our supply of organic crystals, I'm happy to... Well, and I've turned off SBA's organic crystal generation. because we just don't need it now. We've now moved on to.
Arriving at Dora.
I wish when people are arriving, at least pop up a dialogue box saying Schalke is arriving at Dora World, rather than just if we weren't in a chat, be like, has it crashed? So it should pop up a dialogue. You know, Schalke is arriving at Dora World.
Mm.
I am resisting the urge to get involved in this mod. I am. But I must not.
Yeah, the load on Dora World is quite something.
Yeah, but it's lower than it was. It's definitely better than it was. I'm sure of it. Doesn't have to have a pro to set this up now. Good.
Are we demanding at Dora World?
Are we demanding solar sails?
Yeah.
You didn't mention that, right? You just said demanding. No, I don't think we are demanding solar sails internationally, interplanetarily. Just planetarily. So we are requesting solar sails within Dora, but not from the outside. Cute those up just because I'm just tired of not having them. Henry, you just about good to stop, sir?
Yeah,
Good. Yeah, so I am out tomorrow evening, but I should be back hopefully at stream time. We're going to be doing Wreckfest. Hopefully we're a bit busy than last week. Wreckfest definitely shines. The more of us there are, the better Wreckfest is. So if you have Wreckfest, you're watching, you want to join tomorrow, just be around. Join the. We'll be in a public channel. And yeah, feel free to join. It's always good fun, Wreckfest. Monday we're playing a game called Witch It, which looks like a prop hunt clone, which is not a bad thing. No, Dora. Oh, it looks like I can get a photo of her right now. I'm going to try. It's quite hard. She knows that photos are being taken. Okay, I've got a photo. I'll try and get a better photo. Wow, that is impressive. I'll stick it on Discord so I can show it on the stream. No, she doesn't really. Cats don't really do names. That's dogs. She's not a very big cat, by the way. That should be noted. But she has managed to stretch herself out. I apologise for the cobwebs in the corners. So that's the that's all the fluff on Darth Vader and my Mac Mini. I can't even see that, by the way, because that's under the flash. And she's about 8 or 9 feet up in the air. Bless her. Yeah, I will take aboard the thoughts that I should be, and I know I should be, doing more talking about development. I should be showing more of my development. I know you guys find it more interesting than I do, and I forget that, because I've just been baking and working out, overlapping shadow masks and stuff. It's really very boring, but I forget that if you don't do that day to day, you might find it fascinating. So yeah, I do want to start showing that more. So I don't have a real plan for this year, apart from September is Fortress Craft Phoenix starts properly. Whether or not that means 1 day a week or 7 days a week, I honestly don't know at this point. Does anybody? It's the last thing I'm going to do, because I'm not planning on coming back here. I'm just going to do that and that. because that's sending glass all the way over there. Again, I've got to give this game full marks for that. Like I have an issue with the number of solar cells for power, and it all boils down to something Schalke made, I don't know, 20 hours ago. I don't know what it was. This little cluster of 4 things. It wasn't connected up very well, and then that's buggered up that stuff down there. Because of that, all of the bits much further down, aren't working in the way they should be. It's fascinating. Oh well, September is a year since I learned Legions. I said I would have a year developing other stuff. I'm honestly not ready. Partly mentally, partly with my skill set within HDRP, new Unity stuff. So bear in mind, Eden developed a lot of new rendering tech for me. Is that a carbon nanotubes? That might be something to worry about next time. We do have some carbon nanotubes here. It's not a lot. Might have to do some down here. When you log back in, do you log back in where you logged off? Can't remember. I guess you must.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll see if I can remind myself to do carbon nanotubes. Should be able to just pull off that and that. But if I just put one down, not connected up, and then put an alarm on it, smart. Because I like making conveyor belts, obvious as that might seem. There we go. I like making conveyor belts, so if the game was just logistics drones, I don't think it'd be anywhere near as interesting, to be honest. Right, episode 6 over. Well, thank you all for watching. Hopefully, by the time that the next stream of this comes around, they have patched the mod. Keep looking at it. It's not happened. Just hasn't been updated in 2 weeks. They are working on it. Now that said, we haven't had anything committed in 11 days. Ideal. And no pull request for 9 days. Well, not going to hold my breath. Also not going to look at it because I'll be tempted to fix it. So cheers for watching, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully for Wreckfest. Don't forget to like and subscribe. No one asked you you're a cat. Oh, she's turned around. I'll get a photo. Hold on.
Oh, wrong branch.
Brrr.
From Malcolm about the number of Wreckfest patch or something, I think.
Never mind. She
Not Wreckfest, other one.
changed it. Oh, okay. Yes, that would make sense actually, wouldn't it?
Good job. I've been keeping an eye on it. They are still working on it. It's not quite done yet, though.
4 days ago. Still not brilliant.
4 days ago, except for they're awaiting pull requests.
4 days ago's a long time.
Yeah, but work's been done in the last 4 days. They're just waiting for the pull request to be merged in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a couple of. By the way, yeah, you're right. All TCP.
That's fine. That's not a problem. Eden was written with just TCP. I'd use IPX as well, but Fortresscraft uses what's called reliable UDP. So it's UDP, kind of works like TCP. So it's UDP that you resend. Shouldn't be a problem. I don't think there's any specific issues around that. But I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to think about modding it. We're not going to do it. Look at me not looking at modding the game.